Real World Seattle. I remember that was the first time I seen a dude. They had that dude smack that girl up. That was the craziest reality. Steven.
Oh yeah, when them niggas came in
I
the
don't
room,
think I've seen that.
they was like, "Yo, we want your girlfriend right now." niggas had to
Whoa.
He
had
said
to leave
what?
the room type shit.
He was like
Oh, so
mad.
that's why Dave Chappelle did that on that skit.
He was
Yeah, with
mad
Charlie
for
Murphy. Yeah,
I
that shit
never
was
seen a
wild for the
Dave
night.
Chappelle's the skit.
Oh,
Oh, you gotta see the
bro, go
Dave
on
Chappelle
YouTube and watch it
joint.
afterwards. That is,
Yo, that
and
shit
this
is
is
fucking
prime Comedy
hilarious, yo.
Central, Pete Dave. Like,
Yeah, yeah, that shit is prime
Find
like Mad
oh my
TV
out what
shit.
happens
goodness.
when people start being all polite
I ain't gonna play along. I'm just gonna
and
say my
start
bit.
being real.
Mad real. Mad real.
Very classic skit, man.
If you talking big dog, you muted. Matrix is back.
Mhm. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, now
Yeah,
we
we can
got
hear
you.
you.
All right, cool. Yeah, man. So, man, how y'all brothers feeling this afternoon, man? It's the goddamn initiates. We here for another episode. It is Monday, so you know it is Moonday. We about to get into it, but before we get into it, let the brothers introduce themselves and what they got going on with the collective and things of that nature.
Peace, Sacred Serpent, Sacred Dark Serpent, Flame On Shop, Sacred Serpent Media, moonmystic.com. Yeah, uh, plenty of bundles in effect for you guys. If you haven't found out about it, you know, we got an ebook package for you, but we also got a Moon Day package for you. I would say jump on all of it because they for the low right now, and they will not be for the low too much longer. Salute.
Yeah, peace everybody. Thank y'all for joining us this evening. Um I am Breeze, aka Jabriji on Instagram, author of Moonday, Practical Approach to Astrology. Um and yeah, man, here for a good time, not for a long time.
Let's get into this thing. Let's get into this thing. Well, first thing first, man. Brother said he had some bundles, so I want to kind of elucidate those and give the people an opportunity to either click the QR code or visit the link in the description to get a full gist of what the brothers are offering. So, you know, I just want to put it in proper perspective. Once again, you can click the QR code or you can check the links in the description. But right now, we have the Lunar Codex and the Thoth deck, which is the Moon Day practical approach to astrology, which we'll be talking about next and giving people like a full view of that and what that looks like in action. But before we do that, Jabri or Serpent, you want us to give just like a synopsis of this book and what people will be getting when they get it?
Yeah, yeah. So the whole purpose behind this book is to empower everyone who is remotely interested in astrology and may not know where to make their first step, because when you Google astrology or how should I learn astrology, you get hit with so many books, so many videos, so many links, and I wrote this book. I actually created it based off of just journal entries that I've had with studying the book. or studying the moon and tracking the moon and using tarot um, as a tool for better understanding the moon. I will also say that this book is made for everyone to become their own personal astrologer. Um, there is two charts in the book. There's a tarot chart in there, and there's also the moon tracker chart, which is a chart which tracks the moon for 7 days. Um, and it's set up to where you can track the moon 7 days as it transits through the sky, but also as it transits through your own natal chart. So you get more of a personalized idea of what kind of week you're going to have. And it also helps you, for one, study the principles of astrology, and then study your own chart and be your own reference for your understanding of astrology.
And they also get that video as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And it's a 33-minute comprehensive video that's only available through a link that's in the book. Thank you for mentioning that.
And you had also said that it has a tarot chart associated with it, and it also, like, so say for instance you get the Moonday book, which you just explained, but you also have the opportunity to get a Thoth Tarot deck bundle. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
if
Hmm.
people want to tap into that, link is in the description, or you can just scan the QR code if you're watching this on the TV. So, um, can one of y'all explain the benefit of utilizing the Moon Day tracker chart and the Thoth Tarot deck?
Yeah. So um, the tracking chart, like I said, is for you to follow the transits, but also put the transits over your natal chart. And you're able to see how the transit affects you personally. So, for instance, right now, the moon is in the second decan of Scorpio. For me, I know that my second house, Scorpio is in my second house, the constellation is in my second house. And that's always going to be the case, you know. Um, and so when Scorpio's in the second house for me, I know that means things as far as um, resources. You get what I'm saying? Having a lot of resources and being able to have a sense of renewal with my resources. For me, it's kind of like making sure my ducks are in a row, and it can be with my emotions mostly because Scorpio is a water sign. Things like that. And then the actual tarot chart, I made it so that once again, you are the reference for astrology. So yes, the Thoth Tarot deck has meanings on each card, and it has a plethora of symbology, to give you an idea of what these energies mean. But I think in the long run, you want to be able to define those cards for yourself, and that's what that chart is for. The tarot chart in the book is for us because it's really, really heavy on you defining it. Because once you define it, it's easier to commit it to memory, because it's something that came from you. You are your reference to astrology, and that's the whole um, purpose of this book. So you don't have to always go to Google. You know what I mean? You don't always have to go on YouTube, to watch a video on the Seven of Cups. You would know Seven of Cups immediately through repetition, of course, through working through this workbook and getting the Tarot deck in this bundle. I think it's one of the best things since sliced bread, man. It might sound too good to be true, but it's only 11.11 for the book. And then how much is the bundle, Servant?
35.
33.
33.33.
Oh, no. My bad. Sorry. That's the Thoth deck. That's 35.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Shit, that ain't nothing but put some gas in the tank. That ain't nothing but a nice little meal and dessert. Just
Mhm.
something that you can have for the rest of your life. and something that you can share with people. Um, and once again, like I'm always here for help and even questions. And I also want to say that join the Discord because we have a lunar conversation channel where I will begin to start putting the moon chart for every week. And for anyone that's watching or anyone that is in the Discord, um, please volunteer, because we can go over your chart on next Monday. Um, and you can have a better idea of how this works with, like I said, you're the reference, so I would really love for people to get more involved with it. And I mean, even if you're remotely interested, there's nothing to lose. It's all to your betterment, all to your gain. um, so yeah, we're gonna have the moon conversation channel popping a lot more.
Of course, and shout out to the Patreon. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Patreon where you can work with Breeze and initiates on the Moon Day tiers and get readings. And of course, you will come on live and get readings as well.
Oh, shit.
Well, thank you, young Padawan, for jumping in so swiftly. I appreciate that. Yeah, so this is just the ebook bundle, The Path, the Spell, and the Moon. Of course, we put the Moon Day book together with the Spell of Fiat and my other work, The Journey to the Being. I just felt like they all fit and they all go together. And we just wanted to do something for the people, not trying to show the people that we just trying to get money off of the people. No, one hand washed the other, and they both washed the face. So our gift is to put these bundles together with less than challenging prices. And hopefully you get to a point where the more support you show, the more support we can show to others, and we just keep this symbiotic flow going on within the spiritual family. So these three ebooks going together fit. The spell of fiat is basically speaking on the spell that is money. Journey to the Being is a coagulation of all occult principles entailed with anything occult psychologically, tantra, um, and as well as metaphysical and esoteric concepts. And then you put that together with the Moonday book. I mean, I don't think you can beat that for 33. I know it's a steal because one of these ebooks can go for $33.
Right.
I know based on how many I've sold. So that's not us pulling your chain or trying to beat you over the head with some fly words because I'm not using any fly words. I only graduated sixth grade. So um outside of that, we appreciate y'all for the space and the time. But yeah, jump on it, moondaymystic.com, flameonshop.com. Any questions, jump in the Discord, join the Discord, join the Discord, join the Discord.
Link is in the description, or you can click this QR code to send you directly to the site.
And of
You was about to
course,
say
if you got
something,
any
D?
questions or comments, put them down below.
Yes, sir, man. You know me, shoot my regular, man. Uh, this week, man, up until Friday, but Thursday night at 12 a.m., 15% off the whole store. Now through Friday, no promo code needed. Whether we talking about fruit, nootropics, or treats, check out White Rabbit Psychedelic. Hold on, somebody loud as shit. White Rabbit Psychedelics. Check us out, man. Links in the description, or like any of these things that we've been showing you, click the QR code, man. For those watching the show on the TV, we appreciate all the viewers, all the love we've been getting, likes, subscribes, all of that. Everybody that been joining Discord is very important. That when you join the Discord, you get active in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Let us know about you. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it. And the lunar, is it the lunar conversations you bring?
Yes, it's the Lunar Conversations.
All
And
right.
I'm just about to just double check so we can be
Yeah, when you hop in the
all on
Discord, we
right.
should know who you is, like all that, like because when your name pop up and you chatting, we want to
Yeah,
know about you.
yeah,
Period.
Lunar Conversations.
Yes, sir. All right. So what I'm about to do is throw up the chart. You know what I'm saying? And let's get into the getting into's, man. AD, what's good with you, my boy?
Man, my guy, I've been good, bro. Just really just been focused and locked in, and just really going through like the deep plans. Like it's so easy to just like attack shit and do shit, but never have no meaning. So I'm just trying to operate within a foundation and organization. I mean organization. That's really all it. That's all I can say, man. Got out the gym. You know what I'm saying? I did my studies for the day. So now I'm pushing the business and I'm working with my team. You know, what else can I ask for?
Yes, sir. What y'all see in the chart that stand out, Bree? What was the thing that you was looking at when you was looking at the chart this week?
Yeah, man, the thing that stands out the most, I mean, is the moon opposed Venus and Uranus, which and I think it really speaks to renewal, renewal of, or not renewal, more so, I would say more so of a
Are
realignment with
y'all
purpose. Um, yeah, more of a realignment with purpose. Because in Venus you have your responsibility, and in Uranus you have, um, I would say, like the eon. So it's kind of like the stage that you're in right now in life, and the responsibility that you have to it. That's what that conjunction speaks to. And then, you have the moon in the second deacon of Scorpio right now, which is that card is the Six of Cups, which represents pleasure. Um, so you have pleasure oppose your responsibilities right now for where you're at in life right now. But I think it's a bit of being able to find a place where you can enjoy it, having a certain type of um, joy about life, joy about your health, joy about your circumstances, because it really doesn't get any better than what it is right now. And I say that because it all starts with your emotions and your thinking. Um, but it's all about your attitude. And it's really not much more complicated than that. Your experience are your attitudes, and we have to understand a lot of times our reaction or our attitude to situations are our choice. And yes, we may have not been given the tools to deal with it or cope with it or properly um, respond to certain things in the world, or things that may catch us off guard, or things that we don't want to happen. We may have not got the right tools to address different things that may come our way in life. But that's not an excuse. You know what I mean? That's the purpose of life. We're going to learn as it go. Um, that's what really stands out to me right now. Also want to say Thursday, the moon will be in Sagittarius, and we'll have a full moon in Sagittarius. Shit, and even the moon. What is that? Moon square Mars.
Mhm.
I think that's a powerful placement right now, because Mars is in the six of Mars, the moon is in the six of Cups, and I really look at it as it's almost like It to me it seems like it's a lucky placement. I know squares deal with a lot of tension, but to me, if you are willing to be assertive right now with things, I think you will have a lot of success.
Hmm.
Not being afraid of the task that's before you, whatever that task may be. Just go for it, because it's almost like Mars is the tower, and then the moon is the high priestess. So it's almost just like um, you have access to divine energy that's gonna kick doors in for you. But you just have to do the work. You know, it's even said in the Bible, like you're not known for what you've read in the book. It's the work you've done. What is it? Faith is nothing without work. It won't work without faith, but faith is nothing without work. um, that's what I would say about that Mars square moon.
Hmm. To me, it felt like just like with the sun and Gemini, I just felt like ghetto boys. My mind's playing tricks on me, and it's like that ninth deacon in reference from the tenth deacon. Like that shit is rough. Cause for me, it just felt like I was just faced with all my deepest, darkest fears. But at the same time, I really have to like figure out a way to like lock in, but also like make changes. But I don't really necessarily know how to make the changes. So I'm just like going through it mentally for real. And then like this week, really Monday, Tuesday, just getting all my ducks in a row. And like you said, being assertive in reference to what I want to do. Like I want to do a bank audit, and then I want to like do my credit over. Like just not do my credit over, but do more or less like a credit audit. Like because I've been noticing like cool ways you could use AI. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like to
Hmm.
like audit your bank account, right?
Hmm.
Or to do your credit report and like where if you gotta write a dispute letter or some shit like that.
Yeah,
So more or less like doing those things and also like having having my mind right. Like you know what I'm saying? Because it had been on my mind to do, but my mind wasn't right. But I'm telling you, that nine of fucking swords
nah,
compared
so
to the ten of swords is like it's a relief. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
lot of but now it's time to really lock in for the rest of the year, the remainder of the calendar, because it's like I feel like this is the worst part. If you can make it through this part, then you actually in a good place.
agreed. Yeah, agreed. Because nine of swords is cruelty, and then ten of swords is ruin.
Hmm.
Um, and I remember, and I think it might have been one of your lives where you was talking about it in a way of ruining a bad situation.
Hmm. Exactly.
Ruining a bad situation, you know what I mean? How? Because we can easily think of how to ruin a good situation, but what would it mean to ruin a bad situation? You know, um, is doing things that you normally wouldn't do in those situations. Um, and while you were talking real heavy on like the mental aspect of it, the idea of drifting and outwitting the devil, which me and AD is going to do a talk about soon with the Hero Fans Book Club. But drifting is just a concept of basically your mind just goes on autopilot, and that's where you get like the doom scrolling, the emotional eating, um, the senseless arguments, the virtue signaling, all these things that really it don't serve you. You know what I mean? But it's literally comes out of boredom. You're not doing anything constructive, so you allow life to happen to you, for lack of better words. Where it says up here, a state of mind where individuals lack a defined purpose and are easily influenced by external factors. That's the key right there, the external factors, allowing the devil, representing negative forces and limiting beliefs, to control them. And what I've been trying to do to ruin this situation of drifting is to, when I feel like, I want to just get on social media, or find something to be mad at, I will just sit with myself and take 20 connected breaths. And a connected breath is when you're inhaling and exhaling all in one motion, where it's just you're not holding the breath, you're just letting it flow. And I'll do 20 of those, or I might journal a little bit. I look at it, once you get to that place in your day, and usually for a lot of people, it's when you get off of work. You get what I'm saying? It's when you get off of work, or it may be very early in the morning before you get out of the bed to go to work. Um, just trying to put constructive things in there to keep my mind focused on my soul. Keep my mind connected to God. Um, because I'm really trying to be done with figuring this shit out on my own, right? Because it I've done it for 33 years and I've had some success, but I've had a lot of situations where it's like, whoa, that was some of the dumbest shit I ever did in my life, or I know there is a guy because I could have been caught up to this day, you know. But I think it's important to really catch ourselves when we go on autopilot, even if it's just putting the devices down, sitting on the edge of your bed and just taking a couple deep breaths, and really ask yourself, what is it that I need right now? Like genuinely, what do I need right now? It might be a walk. You might need to just get up and walk, you know. But yeah. Without saying too much.
Hmm. Yeah, ruining bad situations is very key because I think a lot of lessons is like that, where you like so quick to fill in the blank. But like I've been like just really studying the Kabbalah, just like in my free time, and it's like really getting it and really understanding it. A lot of it is working through like positive and negative, and then the the inverse of those in reference to the energy, in reference to the gender, in reference to the element. And it's like at one level it's like that's too complicated to learn, but then at another level we going to click our light switch on and off, and it's completely dependent on opposites as a rule, you know what I'm saying? Like alternating
Right.
currents, right? Like we need it for light, but when we talk about the Kabbalah, it's receiving the universal light, and through that reception of that universal light, it is through the modalities of working all four elements and incorrect positive or negative modality. So like in a simple term, like I'm not going to learn and not meditate. Not
Mm-hmm.
going to like study and not do a ritual. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm always going to balance everything that I do, because if I fixate on one polarity, all I'm going to do is meditate. I'm not going to study, then I'm out of balance, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
Mm-hmm.
even caught up in the gender. So it's like if you ever saw a spiritual person, they're never too much into one gender. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a balance in their appearance. Meaning that if the person is like, all right, divine feminine, I'm gonna just be like all sexual about my appearance. That's like you grounded in a specific polarity and you're not balanced. So it's like that's kind of just where I've been on, where it's like I needed advice, like you were saying. Like I want to figure this out on my own because I can't figure it out on my own. But like really working through these Kabbalistic principles like in depth as I possibly can, it's like it makes so much sense as to how to like work it because everything that we study, whether it's tarot or astrology, is based on the Kabbalah. But
Hmm.
like really getting into each Sephirah, like really just I've been working on this shit for days. Like it'd be like, and I'm not nowhere near done. And I'm like, all right, this is like real work. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
Yeah.
this is this is this ain't nothing that's gonna be done quick. Like
Yeah.
this is gonna take my whole brain. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
good though.
Yeah. Cause the Kabbalah, man, it you'll begin to see it in your own experience. For instance, my dad parents, both of them were born on the 22nd. My grandmother was born September 22nd. My grandfather was born November 22nd. There's 22 paths on the Kabbalah. They had 10 kids. There's 10 words on the Kabbalah.
Mm,
um, their first child had transitioned when she was young. That's Catherine. You
mm,
know, my uncle Tyrone is the youngest. He's probably the most solid out of all of them. And he don't smoke, don't drink. He's in his 50s. He looks like he's 30.
mm,
Just little things. My uncle Ricky was the fifth child. That's Gibberish, Mars. He was the only one that was in the military and the only one that moved away. So, and it's a whole bunch of other correlations, and it's amazing. That's all I can really say because I really feel like when you start working with these principles, they'll reveal themselves to you because these principles is what makes this reality.
exactly. Like as deep as we get, you're not going to get beyond a masculine and feminine principle creating your life.
Hmm. Hmm.
Or the operation of my MacBook, or if you on a Sony computer, whatever, is only ones and zeros.
Yeah.
The most complicated computer, guys, like ones and zeros. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Binary code, like the whole shit. So it's like, okay, you gotta begin to
Right.
look at everything from a polar in a dualistic perspective because that is the way for which we live. And it'll be like, well, I want to walk outside and I don't want to create a shadow. Good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? I wish you
Right.
much success on your endeavors, but it's specific laws of the universe that are very much static and fixed that, just really getting into like Gemini energy where it's like, man, my brain got issues and problems that I need to fix. And if I don't fix them, like this shit is real. And I don't think like in the spiritual community, we really providing enough solutions in the ways for so like Gemini, I realized like this, boom, you are craving, you are information starved. Like from all of the information online is not feeding you properly like Bobby and Panic and Phil did. Like,
Siegfried and L.
yeah, it's not feeding you the same. So
Hmm.
it's like, damn, okay. I can't find the solution online, so I gotta just get into the books and I just gotta just start writing. And in that gotta be your fucking solution, dog. I promise you.
Yeah.
Like your work has to be your solution, or else you're going to go crazy because nigga, the internet is blitzed right now. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's the best word for it.
it's like TikTok dances and viral trends and reality TV stars and big booty shaking. Like, bro, like what is we like information malnutrition for the black community now? And it's like, all
Hmm.
right, what we gonna do? It's like, and for me, I'm perfectly fine with all right. I'm just gonna be the knowledge nigga on YouTube. I'ma just feed niggas information and not give you 10-second clips.
Yeah. Yeah.
because nobody is doing that. Everybody is moving to the way of like, all right, we just about to just scam and give you 5 minute fixes and 3 minute fixes and 30-second fixes, and we gonna go
Hmm.
viral and do trends. And it's
Hmm.
like, all right, my people still starving though.
Yeah, it's like the inception of the microwave content and the microwave moment. Unfortunately, it might suffice for your endorphins. It might suffice for that immediate dopamine fix. But at the end of it, it makes it impossible for you to hold the line, so to speak, when it comes to being able to expand one's attention, right? Like that's an old guard type thing right now. Nobody is expanding their attention. If anything, they're dwindling it, right? It's decreasing to the point of, like you said, the things that are looking like this society is cooked, the dances and the trends, and the algorithm is just not algorithming right now. And just like you said, our greats made it so that we were essentially spoiled with the information. And now it's almost as if our community, or the so-called melanated community, they have regurgitated it enough to the point that now they're on to the next thing. But that next thing that they're on to is AI, and they don't even know that they're just on AI right now.
Sicker stuff, man. Hey, Jabri, man, if you got that moon report, if you want to share it, we can move into your moon report now that we have like a solid foundation on the chart.
Yeah, I'm about to put it on my drive, and then I'm gonna share it on the screen.
Me and my wives, we single too. We looking.
All the pun intended.
Nah, man, I'm like to the point now. You gotta like community. Like you gotta be so deep in your community. Your ego gotta be so worked through, man. Cause I just be thinking about life and for real. Like I would rather like swim in a pool of love than try to like face this world. You know what I'm saying? Like this world getting
Yeah,
colder and weird. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you found love or respect or value, man,
Hold on to that shit.
and
hold on
cultivated.
to it, man. I'm just I'm just kidding. These are just jokes. I don't mean anything by
Nah, this is real life.
it.
This is real life. You don't know you don't know what you mean by it, then shit, you better look within, motherfucker.
What we got here?
Cause I agree with the world, man. Shit is too real just to jump ship just because something trigger you.
Mhm.
We gotta grow up.
The trigger is the way, bro.
Exactly.
No, the trigger is not even a thing. So, say for instance, your man trigger you, and you triggered. That response is not even equivalent to the specific trigger because you got unhealed trauma for the past 19, 15, 10 years from something that traumatized you long, long, long ago. To where
Hmm.
now you met a cool guy. What did he do? He put peanut butter on the counter and left the butter knife on there. Now that's your pet peeve, but now you cussing him out. He an ain't
Hmm.
shit nigga. You ain't never gonna be nothing. You feel me? Like the past is becoming the future. But it's
Hmm.
like, we can talk about shadow work till we blue in the face. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, who's actually going to do it?
Yeah, when I say the trigger is the way, it's simple. The trigger is a reminder as to what it is that you actually need to fucking work on.
Shay.
And sometimes I realized last weekend, bro, I had some shit from like 20 years ago I ain't dealt
Hmm.
with my old
Mm,
niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to.
hmm.
They don't tell us until the last minute that whenever you experience true trauma, that's where your arrested development begins. And so when you are triggered, you immediately revert back to wherever you was when you experienced said trauma. And that's what you respond from. You respond from the past. You don't respond from the present.
Yeah. So this is the moon tracker chart, as we discussed. It's straightforward. Over here is the days of the week, or the numbers. This is the days of the week. These are the numbers of the days. Um, and basically, I use AstroSeek. This is also in the book, teaching you how to fill this chart out for your chart personally. It's a 33-minute video, like we mentioned in the beginning. Um, it'll give you more information. Um, but today and tomorrow, the moon will be in Scorpio. Moving into Wednesday and Thursday, will be at a full moon in Sagittarius. Um, and basically this full moon is about bringing some type of harmony into your life based off of what we were just talking about with your mental and your mind state and the things that have to be worked on, and the polarity that presents the challenge, or the opposition, if you will. This full moon is basically revealing the ingredients to do that work, and that work is nothing but alchemy. Um, so wherever you find yourself on Thursday, Thursday and Friday, should really give you a better idea of where you're at in life as far as like what needs to be alchemized, and what do you really want for yourself? What do you want? What kind of reality do you want to make for yourself? Because the next decans after Sagittarius is Capricorn, symbolizing truth. And the three decans of Capricorn is change, work, and power. Self-explanatory. It's not even some super complicated shit. You know what I mean? Once you make that change, you got to put in the work. We was literally just talking about this, and from that work you gain power. You know, I chose to make a change in January to just to not only get in the gym but study a martial arts. And after sparring a good amount of rounds, getting punched squared in the forehead, but hitting people with liver shots and stuff, I actually got a sense of power, a sense of confidence that like I actually am learning the martial arts of boxing, you know. Um, and the truth of the matter of it was I ain't no shit. But I think you don't lose anything by being real with yourself about, okay, I need to work on this. You know what I mean? I'm not as savvy at this as I be trying to put off as I am. You know what I mean? Like you do not lose anything from being real with yourself about it. Like if you can lie to the world, but please be real with yourself. Um, because that's how you're going to be able to develop. That's how you're going to be able to go deeper with the relationships you have, and have more of a fulfilled life, um, and find your place in the world where you can actually serve humanity. Um, but yeah, it's going to be a full moon in Sagittarius Thursday, and then after Capricorn, it's going to be moving into Aquarius, which the Aquarius represents the star card. Um, and it also can represent psychic abilities. And the first deacon of Aquarius is the Five of Swords, which is defeat. I feel like we spoke about Aquarius probably like 4 weeks ago, um, and how like once you get to a point where you feel like you actually made some progress with your spiritual practices, and you kind of, for lack of better words, get big headed about it, and then you're met with a new challenge, and it kind of humbles you. Five of Swords is almost like becoming humble. That even though you know a lot, is so much more that you don't know. Um, and then the next deacon after this, after Five of Swords, is the Six of Swords, which is science, and then Seven of Swords, which is deception. Um, yeah, I mean, this is basically it. Just to talk about the chart a little bit more, we have the signs over here, the constellations rather, and then over here is the deacons that they're in. And from the deacons, I'm able to go over here to the tarot column, and basically Monday, Scorpio second deacon, that's the Six of Cups. Tuesday, Scorpio third deacon, it's the Seven of Cups. And there's a chart in Moonday. I'm telling you, everything you need is in this book. So if any of this stuff is foreign to you, is broken down for you in little digestible pieces. Um, but yeah, I mean, do you guys have anything to say about the full moon this Thursday?
Hmm. Yeah, the Ten of Wands, oppression, and what we had talked about, and Gemini, and understanding polarities, even like the Five of Swords. I'm looking at all negative aspects and I'm putting them towards negative things. And then I'm taking all positive aspects and I'm putting them towards positive things, meaning that I'm going to oppress the parts of myself that are oppressed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not allowing the mental to even be like there's no way that I can be defeated mentally, because I think once you unlock the inverse polarity, you can't ever lose a mental battle, because you can always use to like so Sunday you can defeat the parts of you that are defeated.
Yeah. 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 In the same, I get what you're saying. In the same way where we were talking about ruining a bad situation.
Exactly. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's really inverse polarity at work. And then just utilizing the moon force, which is very Kabbalistic, where you have your sun pillar and you have your moon pillar. And is a real good time to like really understand the areas for which you have an issue with and start addressing it, because you got
Yeah.
ruin and oppression, which you like, I don't want to deal with that energy, I don't want to be ruined or oppressed, but there's things that need to be ruined and
Mm-hmm.
there are
Mm-hmm.
things that need to be oppressed. And I think like that kind of like quote unquote sadistic mindset, like with Ironheart, where it's like they just turning her into like this ultimate villain, but
Yeah.
it's like, nigga, it's not no good and bad. Like I'm really trying to reflect on like being a cop, and it's like it's cool if you want to be a cop, but what if they tell you to do some crooked shit, or you gonna lose your job? You know what I'm saying? What if
Yeah.
you knowing you police in black neighborhoods differently than you police in white neighborhoods? You cool with it, or you just going like, what is good, what is bad? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
even
Mm-hmm.
in Ironheart, where he asked her, she asked Zay like, "Am I a good person?" And he was like, "It depends on who you ask." That's real. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Facts.
but just using these particular concepts to your benefit is the cheat code. So it's like I had a tower moment. Like, what do you mean? I fucking wrecked some shit that I needed to wreck. Oh, like it didn't wreck your life? No. I utilized it to my benefit. All the whole energetic current, the whole tarot, the whole Kabbalah, using it to your benefit. And I feel like for me, it's like, all right, let's play. Let's see. Cause I'm telling you, I literally this today I was getting gas, bro, and I was like, I'm about to find a penny. Not only did I find a penny, but I found a Chinese dollar coin, like a Chinese money coin. Like I found the penny and like and 2 seconds later I found that money coin and then I had like three orders back to back. I'm like, I'm too cold with this shit. Like I'm like, I'm like, yo, my mind, dog. Like, I'm about to really understand this Kabbalah
Mm-hmm.
and use my mind in a way where I don't think negative because I
Mm-hmm.
understand the consequence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because this
Yeah.
shit is real.
Yeah. 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 No, that's the. I mean,
Real talk.
this is free game right here.
And you know
Free game.
what's the eye opener to me, Hood? Like, so you know about mushrooms, right? To grow
Mhm,
mushrooms, you right, we don't really grow mushrooms. We just cultivate the space for them,
mhm.
right? It's for them to grow. So what all these things are teaching us as we go over constantly, what we're doing is cultivating the place for success, cultivating a place for spiritual development. Like we really got to think about that ourselves of like in our nature, a lot of things that we cultivate around us is going to bring the the solution or the manifestation of what particular thing is being done.
Because you creating that space for it to grow and be.
Right.
And that's the thing about like manifestation. It don't come out of nowhere. You did a lot of work on the underground to bring it into being. You know, how niggas be like, damn, this shit just came out of nowhere and now they kicking me out. And it's like, yeah, you got mad disconnect notices that you like putting to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like it be a buildup a lot of times. So it's like that shit's real. Creating that energetic space, especially when you're dealing with a full moon. I feel like them is the most powerful times, waning moons, because like what's better than clearing out space? Because in this world, it's teaching you you gotta have shit and possess shit, but the moment you have it, it's taking up space in your arsenal, and then it's gonna
Yes.
turn into some old shit too. It's like, yeah, remember niggas in 1986 could have swore to God, you know what I'm saying? That fucking Lexus with the BBs was going to be the hottest shit forever. Now that shit collecting dust somewhere, and they got some new shit. But it's like, come on, y'all. We breathing new fresh air. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
we not
Yeah.
breathing the old air. Like what we doing? Niggas always want to be nostalgic and shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if you look up the etymology to nostalgic, it's like depression or something. Something in the lines of that. It's
Mhm.
not a good feeling.
Facts.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. Dealing with that negative polarity um helps you get into a place of what works as opposed to what's right or what's wrong. What works, and you can always change, you know, what you're doing to find something that may work better.
Yo, Breeze, one thing I really like with the tarot section of the chart
Hmm.
is the personification of the individual tools or the components describing the elements, like the cups, wands, pentacles, swords. Like we'll be surprised, like how that really gives us a lot of information within the chart. Because, like as we was doing readings tonight and looking at the astral chart, we was looking at certain deacons which speak to those personifications. Whether if the deacon of Aries had a wand or deacon of Cancer had a cup. So it's
Yeah.
like understanding those, you can dissect each deacon. Is like, okay, like I understand the card is here, but what else is here within the deacon for me to learn? Because this is how you can like dive deeper into a like somewhat intermediate or maybe advanced, but it's really something that's beginner. It's just how you.
Hmm. No, I agree. It's very elementary, very foundational. It's one of those things like our first thing with numbers is learning how to count, you know, and we still do that, to do everything. It's just those foundational things that you can't have algebra without numbers. You can't have days of the week without numbers. You know, yeah, it's and that's what Moonday is about. It's just about understanding the foundations and then seeing yourself in the principles. And once those things connect, you don't need nobody to tell you anything regarding astrology. Now, I'm not saying don't get readings from people that know more than you, because all that's going to do is strengthen your understanding, and it'll make it easier for it to resonate with you. Because once you work through this book, I would say go through this chart about 8 weeks. You'll have two moon cycles worth of data, and that's from full moon, or I'm sorry, new moon to new moon, which is 28 days. So you'll have like 56 days of data regarding your personal chart and what the transits are doing and what it means to you. And then from there, say you do get a reading from one of us. Now, when we mention things, you know exactly what we mean. You know exactly where you can put your focus in on. Um, just from studying the principles, just from learning the basics. I don't know why people really want to do the most razzle dazzle things ever. You know what I mean? Whereas Michael Jordan was known for his mid range jumper. He wasn't really dunking like that, shooting threes. Jordan was shooting mid range jumpers, bro. That was his most great made shot. He wasn't doing all that spectacular shit. He was doing basic shit, but he did the basic shit so well to the point he's arguably one of the greatest athletes ever.
Now, I would just want to add to like your wisdom because I think at a certain point, a person might get confused with the cards, but at the most basic level, you can Google, like, say for instance, the Ten of Wands. Like, you want to just get a feel for that particular energy, you can Google, you know what I'm saying? Ten of Wands, meaning or card of the day, and it's like, it signifies feeling overwhelmed, burdened, stressed due to excessive responsibilities and obligations. Like, can you relate to that in your life? Like, what area
Right,
is that in your life? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
and what's crazy is like you can prepare for it energetically and just like center your energy on not festering in the energy, but like reversing it because it's an energetic portal that opens up between the sun and the moon that can hardly be explained. But you know it's an energetic portal because the sun is lighting up the day and the moon is controlling the night. Like,
hmm,
that is a organized thing that is like humans is not in control of.
hmm,
Reflecting on that is kind of crazy
hmm,
because it's a setup of planetary energy that's like allowing life to exist. That's crazy.
yeah,
That's you. Your brain can't figure out how that shit is happening. No human can figure out as much, and that's the game for like. So it's like tarot and esoteric, and then it's like the life, and we imagine that the exoteric is stronger than the esoteric. And we superimpose the exoteric, we black and we got to fight for our rights. And then we like, yeah, in my dreams, I was a slave freedom fighter. And you know what I'm saying? Like the ancestors showed up in chains and said you had to free us. And it's like, no, you have been programmed. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have been programmed into what we are not because the exoteric is teaching you about slavery, not the esoteric.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's very important. I just want to make that last point. But it's like, bro, you can control your mind and control your expectations on life at a mental level. I'm 40 years old. I know this to be a fact. Because I'll literally think like, yeah, money's coming. Like, but when I was in my 20s, I'd be like, damn, bro, I'm so stressed. I need to figure out how I'm gonna get this money, bro.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do anything for it, bro.
Even sell your soul. Even sell your soul.
Bro, I would have sold my soul in my 20s. You can't, you
Shake
can't.
hands with
Yeah,
I never had the
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah, yeah. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? How niggas didn't get that opportunity, but every other opportunity was there? Like, isn't that weird?
The devil would have kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I would have listened.
Like, I think niggas would have had too much fun with Mr. Cleves.
Like, you mean I can get a Lambo truck?
Word, you mean I could get a Porsche wagon right now?
Hey Siri, play Damien by DMX.
Yeah, the snake. Hey Siri, play
Yeah,
Murder Was the Case by Snoop.
yeah, yeah.
All that shit, yeah.
Play hey Siri, play What's Your Life Like by Beanie Siegel.
Listen, I mean, it's hard to resist the. I mean, I wouldn't do it now, but I mean, like I said, I didn't have the opportunity. I grew up off rap music videos. I didn't think nothing was wrong with that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my first rap purchase was Niggas for Life. I thought I was doing good.
My first rap purchase was Ready to Die by Biggie. Like, what type of mind control is that for you? I was
Mm-hmm.
in the fourth grade and we had, them box catalogs, you know what I'm saying? Columbia House. And the reason how I got it, because Biggie had the baby on the cover. I was like, Mom, it ain't nothing. How could it have bad lyrics on it? It's a baby on the cover. That shit worked, bro. But that was one of the most. The nigga said,
Yeah,
he said,
suicidal
so
thoughts was on there.
he said, I want everything. I want the number one mom pendant. I'm like, come on, Biggie, you robbing a pregnant lady. Like, what is we doing on wax? Like,
Yeah,
what are we
yeah,
rapping about?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my first, well,
Yeah.
my shit, it was bootleg, but it was strictly for my niggas Tupac.
Yeah, yeah. Classic right there. I listen to
I
that
know.
old Tupac is just it's energy, bro. It's like
It
pure,
is.
pure like angelic energy. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
so pure. Like I can
Mm-hmm.
hardly explain it. But
Yeah,
oh,
my
Mm-hmm.
favorite, my
crazy.
favorite Pac, my favorite Pac was Above the Rim Pac.
Was that 97? No, that wasn't 97. That was like 93.
I can't help but notice your pain, my pain. It runs deep. Share it with me.
Mhm. I would say about that was right before he got locked up.
Mm-hmm.
Above the rim,
Mm-hmm.
right
Yep.
before
It
he
had
went
to
to
be like
jail.
94 again, like 90.
Mhm.
Because I was heavy on him when he was running up around uptown with Roddermans and them. I was heavy on him, but
Mhm.
I started to dwindle off of him right after the fictitious rape case, and then I just started to notice how um everything
Around
was,
94.
yeah, everything was a big deal with him. And I was just like, yeah, like he didn't move the needle as much as people said he did. So like I was wondering why they kept trying to make him um this activist and shit. And that's when he just started souring for me. Cause I remember, I used to be a Humpty fan. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
the Humpty dance nigga, like you was a background dancer, nigga. Like you don't go from a background dancer to a Black Panther activist in hip hop. Like you just don't do that unless the roles was clear for you type shit. So yeah, I soured on him quick. And then how he always represented the West Coast, even though he was born on the East Coast, that bothered me too.
Yeah, I agree with all of those sentiments. It's just like now when I listen to the music, I just hear it differently. Cause I only critique Pop while he was alive.
Me too.
I only saw flaw and chinks in his armor, and I didn't like how he was going at Biggie, and I'm a Biggie fan.
Mm-hmm.
But like rapping though, you can't compare Pac and Biggie because Pac is just his
Raw
music.
energy.
Yeah, it's like Biggie is like logic and like finesse
Lyrical.
and
Lyrical.
lyrical. Pac is like a
A
plant,
DJ character.
a plant growing out the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
how am I explain that? Like, that's not logical. But it's like if it was growing fruit and you needed to eat it, you would be like, you would just grab the coconut and eat the coconut. You ain't even like with Biggie is like, oh, I gotta read this instruction manual and I got
Yeah.
the job and it makes sense. But Pac is like raw sustenance for the soul. His earlier shit is like strictly for my niggas and Tupacalypse. Like
Mhm.
that's when I feel like he was doing something that ain't never been done before. Like he was just kind of like I can only express it as just like a form of energy, like because it wasn't lyrical. It wasn't, and it's like if you listen to music for lyrics, I
You
feel
wouldn't like Pac.
you ruining your listening. You just listening to shit. Like you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like nigga, you supposed to dance, motherfucker. You supposed to like you supposed to
Mm-hmm.
move. You're supposed to move. You're supposed to energize. You're supposed to like
Where's the theatrics at, nigga? Like,
yeah, like you know what I'm saying. What is this? What is this for? You know what I'm saying? Like you put words together, cool, but Public Enemy, Curtis Blow. These are the foundation of hip hop as we know it. And Bismarcky, these niggas wasn't wordsmith and lyricists.
mm-mm, mm-mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't get the wordsmith and lyricist until you get to KRS, Rakim, and Big Daddy Kane.
Coogee rap,
And Cool
Cool G
G,
Rap
yeah.
and Cool G Rap. Yep, can't forget about Cool G.
which is cool. You know what I'm saying? It's a time and a place for everything. But yeah, I feel like Pac is the best rapper. And I never would have said that before, but it's like this year I was like, all right, he better than Big because Big is one dimensional.
Yeah, it took me a longer time to really appreciate Biggie. Just as a kid, 'cause I was born in '92. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So the things I remember about Pac was like All Eyes on Me until the end of time, and then he transitioned.
Hmm.
But Biggie,
I would have to give you a little bit of pushback on that, not to cut your wisdom breeze, but I had to give you a
I'm
little.
just saying like how I remembered it
I'm
as a
talking about
kid.
Hood. I'm not gonna let him get away with that.
Oh, oh.
Hood just said Biggie was one dimensional. I'm trying to figure out which dimension he's referring to.
Biggie is one dimensional, multi dimensional. He hood nigga gangster rap and he do it in different ways. Pac
Okay.
Pac is like multi dimensional in a sense where it's like revolutionary gangster rap. Um, I believe I can fly rap. You know what I'm saying? Like just giving it to you in just different ways, like and just giving it to you to where it's like, damn, this is not even like about him. This is like an artist that's doing some poetry or talking about Brenda having a baby. He coming out with a story about Brenda having a baby. This nigga Biggie not doing shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He doing it like he a big mafioso gangster nigga, which is cool, but that's not the black experience for real. Tupac is Drake to me.
Mm.
You
I,
know,
I,
you
that just made it worse.
You don't think you don't? I would say he
That
more
just made
Biggie.
everything worse, nigga.
I'm telling you, Tupac is Drake.
What?
Drake is an actor, dog. Drake is
But
an
I
actor.
but I feel like he's more of a combination of both. I think he's more
Nah,
of a
I'm not gonna let you
combination
get
of
away with
both.
that neither. Nah.
But no, right. It's not like it's the void that they left and where rap is now has been deduced down to Drake standing in those spots now.
I agree.
It's not that he was as great, but it's just like, you know what I mean, how it is in the NBA right now. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Niggas really ain't that nice no more. It ain't no Akeem Olajuwons no more.
It's just a
Ain't nobody
sign of the
playing
times.
with that
Okay.
ferocity.
And I'm gonna
You get
tell
what I'm
you, and
saying?
I'm gonna tell you, how do you want it? Fucking, what's that one shit? Are you still down for me? I'm talking about R&B and hip hop, nigga. Are you still down for me or the shit with Scarface, Mary or no, not Mary Jane? What's this shit with him? Smile, smile for me, like
Yeah.
all of that R
That
and
video was
B,
scary as hell, bro.
like. I ain't mad at you. Another scary ass video, but Pac and R&B is Drake and R&B. Like niggas is not. I'm saying Drake is the goat because of the R&B, and I'm telling you, Pac is the goat because of the R&B. What's that shit with Joe? He had a song on Machiavelli with Casey and JoJo.
Toss
Aaron
it up.
Hall, yeah, bro, toss it
Toss
up.
it up.
Like
That
you
shit
had,
was hard.
how you have Casey and JoJo and Aaron Hall on the same track is so crazy. But I'm just saying,
Aaron
like
Hall was more gangster than he was.
Aaron Hall, a gangster ass nigga for real.
Well,
Like,
Aaron Hall is also a woman beater, so
I mean, that's why his career ain't popping the way
that nigga beat up the pimping girl. Remember
Gloria
the, remember, the, remember,
Velez.
the, remember the chick with the cowboy hat in his pimping video?
Gloria Velez.
Yeah, that was his BM, nigga.
Damn.
He beat the shit out of her daily, my nigga.
Damn.
Yeah, somebody needed to get him away from her. Like he should be under the jail just for that. Like the fuck. Hmm.
See,
Okay, I'll say
the
this.
Machiavelli.
I'll say this.
So I went way back, I seen a big correlation with Pac and Shiva and his affinity to California, Cali. And if you look at Cali devotees, they're called thugs, thug life and thuggy and stuff like that. And I was able to like really see the divination in Kylie through the song "Me and My Girlfriend" because I really look at that as literally a song that Shiva made for Kylie. And if you listen to it with that thinking, um, I think it's just like saying, a chant for Kylie, really. Because when you really think of like, what's the closest thing to Kylie? As far in the destructive way, is a gun. And then just personification of the gun and like how he painted that picture. I think it was an incredible song. But I think that Don Illuminati, that whole project is
The 7 Day
amazing.
Theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost spooky. Um it's a lot that's in that.
It's
I
definitely
would,
something you can just cut on and play right now, like from beginning to
yeah,
end.
yeah.
It's nothing but bangers on there, and it's like, bro, I'm salty that he died, bro, because he. I feel like he was getting better, like
Hell yeah.
from All Eyes on Me, which I feel like All Eyes on Me was a superior project, and then he was like in his bag, and then he like got like, bro, I just feel like he just should have just been still making music. Biggie should have still been making music
It's
because
not fair, man.
what the fuck, bro?
You just reminded me of my trauma from my childhood, bro, and I'm not really appreciating it, right? So, um, when you talk about Biggie and you talk about him speaking from his alter ego, Frank White, please understand he didn't get to Frank White until after Ready to Die. The entire Ready to Die was about the struggle, my nigga. Everyday struggle. So when you say he's one dimensional, multi-dimensional, because he just does that one dimension in a lot of different ways, I have to disagree respectfully. Because when you get to Life After Death, you got 48 tracks and they cover every base, bro. The nigga sings on a fucking track. And it ain't got nothing to do with gangster shit. Play a hater. like, like,
Turn
even
me
though he
around,
doesn't know how to sing, like he
get
still
on
did
the
that thing.
ground.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so,
That's a good
so
song.
and
You know,
for me,
Wake up,
bro, it is super difficult for me to watch a
you
nigga
fucking
standing on
fool.
stage with a Gumby doing the Bobby Brown shit, right? With a Humpty Dump nigga, and then that nigga be an activist. Like I said, listen, the energy, like you said, is palatable. Palatable. Like it is so enormous to the point that he probably could have did anything and been successful at it. Still will not take anything away from what he accomplished and what he stood for. But I'm still
Where were you
I'm
born?
still a homer. I'm still a homer, bro, and I'm still gonna stick with Big. Like, bro,
Where were
he
you born?
accomplished what he accomplished in 2 albums. Like 2 albums. He
And
didn't
that's
have
gonna be my
9 albums,
right.
bro.
That's gonna
He
be
didn't
it.
have Dr. Dre, bro. He didn't have that big ass machine over there behind him, bro. Like the argument to me is sort of like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, right? Like Tom Brady was awesome because he had a fucking system, right? Peyton Manning had to do everything by himself, bro. Like, bro, they put this nigga back together with crazy glue and stick 'em gum. Like, bro, and he's and he was still able to win. You dig what I'm saying? Like Tom Brady is different though. He had the machine behind him, bro. Like this nigga won Super Bowls with one passing touchdown. You know what I'm saying?
For the
160
viewers,
yards passing, right? Like, bro, like I just can't. It's not. But to me, this is the trauma part, right? Projection, but this is the trauma part. To me, every bit of credit I give Tupac is taken away from Big. So
where was you? What city was you born in, Racine?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay, I just had to let people know that because only someone from Brooklyn
Yeah.
would
Only nigga from, but at least
approach
I'm
this
honest about my
conversation like
shit,
that.
right?
Oh, for
I'm
sure,
honest
Word.
about my shit. Other
for
niggas
sure,
will argue until they're blue in the face and
for
won't tell
sure,
you why. I'm gonna tell you why, bro. Like
for
that's my
sure,
trauma point. I
for sure.
remember going outside right after old boy was shot up, and then a nigga walking over to me and being like, "Yo, son, you heard Big died?" Like I remember that day, like it was yesterday. But the crazy part is, I also remember the day somebody walked up to me and told me when Pac died.
we're talking about trauma. Shit, I'm still trying to do shadow work on niggas doing Nas in. Like, I mean, I understand, like, you know, the whole Jay-Z and shit thing. Like,
Man,
that's why I ain't jumping this combo, because I still got beef over the Nas thing, man.
I
man.
still got beef with Nas, but everybody universally says Nas won, so I don't understand.
I mean, shit, I guess we gotta go back to the video, because niggas is like, who's still
No,
listening
no,
to
no,
Nas?
no.
Niggas
That's
is like,
because
fuck
we're
Hit Boy
Jay-Z
Nas.
fans.
I was like,
That's because we
damn.
Jay-Z fans, though. You know what I'm
Them
saying? Like
Jones
me,
did not come to
me and
Cleveland
Hood is Jay-Z fans, so that's probably why you heard that. You know what I'm saying? But Breeze is a Nas fan.
for sure.
Breeze held him down.
I think I might go see Illmatic with the orchestra in Cincinnati this year. But
Like that shit.
man,
Oh no, I'm not. I mean, Nas is cool. He just put out too much music at this point, where it's kind of
Okay,
like,
that's fair. That's
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only knock I have on Nas is
like
that
it,
he put out too much.
yeah. But I don't feel the new shit the way I feel the old shit, and
Yeah,
and that's just where I'm at with it. I don't know why, but it's just like
because he
I'm
is so good. Like I just think like he just don't know how to let shit breathe.
right, right. And niggas might need a new Nas. I just don't need a new Nas. Like I'm good on old Jay Z. I don't need a new Jay Z.
Facts,
But that
facts.
goes into my Biggie point. Like I've listened. I've never listened to Pac until 2024, 2025 ever, nigga. Like in my
for
whole life.
real?
Yeah, like never. But I'm listening to everything he got, and I'm like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah,
I understand why niggas say that Pac is better than Big. Because he put out more music, and therefore you got a larger sample size to digest it, and you get into the stories, and it's like, yes, he might be a plant. Yes, Biggie's a better rapper. Yes, only two albums, but only two albums is the knock against Big. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Jay Z got so many albums. Like fucking LeBron played so much games. This nigga got 40,000 points. This nigga scored more than Wilt. Like, come
yeah,
on. Like, what are we doing? He just like longevity makes it to whereas you can put out more shit. And it's like that just give you a better chance and we get to know you. And it's like the musicians that we like, nigga, I don't know about y'all, but I was at the record store willing to put my hard earned money on the line for their CD, meaning that I want to listen to these niggas. I don't mind listening to them. And so I can't knock Biggie. I can't knock Jay Z. I can't knock Tupac. I don't listen to them too much. I can't knock Drake.
you
You know what I'm
can't knock
saying?
Nas though, right?
I can't knock Nas either. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-mm.
but the takeover is better than Ether, dog. These are just
Man,
facts.
fuck it. Fuck.
These are just facts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hey
Yeah, when we
man,
get to the point where you trying to change my vote to your vote, like it's over. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like we could give each other props, nigga, but when you talk about persuasion and changing my vote, nigga, I'm like, nah, that's manipulation, nigga. Like that don't count.
yeah, nah, I never tried
That
that.
don't count,
I
nigga.
got, I got,
That don't
I got
count.
Blueprint one on my phone, but I don't have Takeover on my phone.
That's your
Yo,
problem.
that's
That's
No,
your
you
problem
gotta
right there.
really figure out
Man,
why
you
that is
need to keep
the
listening to that
case.
King Disease. Do
no,
not listen to these niggas.
That's the trauma response, nigga.
it is, it is, it is. I've heard the song probably less than 5 times.
Listen, but I don't listen to Super Ugly though.
Yeah, but you gotta get
That
on
I
YouTube
feel
to
like
listen to
that's I feel like that's his worst work because it was rushed and he only did that because he caved under fan pressure after everybody heard Ether. You know what I'm saying? So like when we get to talking about the shits, I can be honest about my guys too.
Because he
Like
had that smoke and he said,
98,
fuck Jay-Z. Right off the muscle.
98%.
it.
And plus, that time I was mad at that time. I was super tight because the nigga brought Jadakiss on stage with him, and I was so upset at Jadakiss. I was like, bro, Especially for a couple years later, for both of y'all to sign with Hov, I felt some type of way about all of them niggas. Like I noticed, like all of them niggas ended up signing with the homie at the end, but I still felt some type of way. I didn't forget about y'all niggas. Like I ain't forget about Fat Joe throwing a champagne bottle in the club at home. I ain't forget about.
This man said
I ain't forget about Jim.
Hold up.
I ain't forget about Jim Jones and We Fly High. I ain't forget about them niggas.
Hold up 1 second, man.
I ain't forget
Hold up
about
1
that
second.
shit. I ain't forget about Dane and the JJ Walker video he made with Cameron. Dissing the nigga while he's still on the same label, and then turn around and wonder why Rockefeller's broken up. Like, I didn't forget about none of that shit, bro.
Every time
I ain't forget about none of that shit.
Find 100,000. Yo, the cats is ill 5 times a half a meal.
The only thing I think about is Jay-Z's Kingdom Come, Dig a Hole. Siri, play Dig a Hole by Jay-Z, please.
That song on iTunes no more. You ain't get something clear.
Shit. Dig a hole, nigga. Dig a hole and bury yourself. That's how he responded to all of them niggas. Dipset and all them niggas coming at him. Dig a hole, nigga.
Yeah, man. Something happened with that song. It ain't, well, you had to go on YouTube and listen to it. But yeah, I couldn't ever go back and forth with you on this ride because you're from Brooklyn. So I know it ain't.
Yeah, it wouldn't even. Yeah. But like I said, at least I'm honest up front about that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a whole different perspective.
Because my ears, I will probably never allow my ears to get to a point where I will ever give Pac that kind of credit.
Yeah, I mean,
because I paid attention to all of the shit that he did off wax. And as far as I'm concerned, like I don't really give a fuck what you do on wax. Like the off wax is what mattered to me.
Mm-hmm. I think what we're talking about really speaks to like how things have an impression on us, and those first impressions really influence us deeply. You know what I mean? To the point where it's just like I don't care what you say about this person. You know what I mean? Because my experiences with this, I know this to be real. You know, like it's just interesting, man. When we really sit down and think about how the mind works.
Well, who is 19 scams?
19 scams. I love that name.
Perfect.
Man, he blocked me on Instagram.
Damn.
Yeah.
Why? He blocked me too. It
was
I don't know. I just made a clip of one of his videos and sent it to him, and he blocked me.
It was around the time with what happened with Breonna Taylor, and he made a long post about like how her boyfriend like protected her, and all I asked was how did he protect her? And the police is walking the boyfriend out, and she's getting zipped up in a body bag.
He blocks her. Yeah. That would warrant a block because that forces me to answer a real question. So.
I thought he blocked y'all because y'all was gonna help him with the 20th scam.
Nah, I think he thought we found the recipe to gold water.
We ain't shit.
Yeah, we with the shits. We don't give a fuck about these niggas. Please let them know that.
Talking about though, man. Let's just watch a video.
This clip was just for joy. Like I don't really care about his dissertation.
So I think there's a lot of layers to it. I think when it's the reason I do the.
So I think the loneliness epidemic is real, and that's the most vulnerable population.
So I think there's a lot of layers to it. I think when it's the reason I do the epidemic thing.
Because you mean to men?
I am mean to men.
I seen that clip. Don't be mean to men.
I'm really proud of being mean to men, actually.
That's crazy.
I'm not mean to you.
I know, but that's an outlier. You understand me? I don't exist. I'm not a statistic. I'm an anomaly.
Yes, of course.
That's why I say that I champion the average man, because those are the ones who need it. You feel me? I've always had certain privileges in life, right? Just because of the way that I see myself, the way that I think, my ability to communicate, my level of attractiveness, whatever it may be, I feel like I've always had privileges. So I speak outside of myself.
From a woman's perspective. I don't like to speak on what men experience because I'm not a man. I only have my experience with men. And I have brothers and I have nephews and I have many men in my life and I adore them. I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. This generation of women is one of the most unique generations in history, at least in modern times, because this is truly the first generation of women that have any kind of autonomy over their bodies, over their ability to make money, over their ability to be entrepreneurs. You don't have to have a man to get a credit card. You don't have to get a man's approval to start a business like this. When you are financially independent from men, it creates a different dynamic on the lowest end and the highest end, because there was a time where you had to have a man to have a roof over your head. To exist as a citizen, you had to be with a man. And not just like claimed, you had to be married and then like immediately make children, whether you wanted to be a mother or not, whether you were fit to be a mother or not. Like, there's just a lot of things that define women that are not in existence right now in totality. And the connection to men has become a different demand. Now, this is my experience. And the women who are close to me. I'm not speaking for all women. Like, I'm just giving my opinion on what my experiences are and the women who are around me are experiencing, because I talk about it all the time. I literally had a conversation on the way here today with my girlfriend about this. And what I think the disconnect for me and those men is twofold. One, I don't need a man to do anything for me but love me. I can love myself, but I can't love myself in the way that a partner will love you, right? Like, love. I don't need you to feed me. I don't need you to put a roof over my head. I need you to protect me, but in the sense that you like protect a partner, not like safety in the world. And I think that's a dynamic that is really difficult for a lot of men, because men were not raised to be interesting. Like, you just had to show up and have money, and that was like enough, or show up and be tall, or like be from the right family. And that's just not the case anymore. The other part of it is, I think the propaganda that those men that you're talking about are being fed is that women like me are the reason that they are not happy, which is not true.
She said a lot, and
She
she
said a
got more
lot.
to say. But I want to have us jump in and chime in a little bit in reference to what she was
Mhm.
saying. Was she saying valid, true, or incorrect? Is there a particular point you want me to jump back to, or like what was y'all initial
It was the
thoughts?
part on the men weren't interesting, right? Because it's like, if I can go back to it right now, I can go talk to my grandpa and get some interesting shit from this man. And what I'm saying is that because she went into the part of, they just had to have money, so they wasn't interesting. I know a lot of guys that ain't got money and they pretty fucking interesting. And I know dudes who got money that's interesting. I just felt that was like just a crazy claim to make. Because usually dudes that's interesting, or when they get in a girl, they doing a lot of entertaining. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
I think when she said that, what she was referring to was that most men aren't taught to be interesting. And when you first hear it, it seems odd because most people are not talking about that. But when you really think about who was taught to be interesting.
Nobody in the modern times. You talking about the modern times? You talking about her perspective?
Yeah, I feel like that's not gender
Yeah.
specific. You know what I'm saying? Because your pussy whopping is not interesting. Like you BBLing it, and like none of that is interesting.
Yeah, that BBL is gonna get you trapped out on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be intriguing to a desperate
With ticket
nigga,
bitches, nigga.
but none of the stuff that she named is interesting.
I think she contradicted herself where she basically said she don't need a man for anything, not even for protection or love.
No, she said just
Well,
love. She said just to love
she
her.
went she went back on it where she said I could love myself, and then she said protection.
Yeah, yeah, but not the way a partner
Yeah,
can. Yeah,
and
you're
then she
right.
said the
You're
same
right.
thing with protection. Now,
Yeah, she
my
waffled.
thing is when looking at stuff like this, I always want to address, the real common man and woman. And we can't take her echo chamber ideas for our own. You know what I mean? Because this is a person that's basically asexual, the way she's talking. You don't need anybody, so why are you even talking about the opposite sex when there's no need for them, for you, for you, you know? But I think that uh, I think it's just silly, man. Like, I want to hear more of what is said, but it's kind of like because he asked her about loneliness, and all she did is name all the reasons, ask her why she's lonely, but she's saying it in a way where it to me it seems like she's trying to be virtuous that she's lonely.
Yeah, like she
But
did it
when
by
in
choices and
reality,
shit.
yeah, but in reality, she's kind of making it seem like she's a victim of her circumstances, whereas all these things was a choice, whether you knew better or not. You know, whether you knew better or not, these are choices, and these aren't the negative effects. Gemini, this is the negative effects of your choices. You know, now you're in a place where you got a mind state where you feel like you don't need nobody. But since you talking to a man, it's like, well, I mean, I would like to be loved, I would like to be protected, but I can do those things for myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, I want to treat you like that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's 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 disingenuous in the fact that she's trying to cover all bases at the same time while justifying her actions, right? So the context of the conversation is they're talking about the male loneliness issue. All right. So in media, they're terming it as an epidemic, right? Now, I did only graduate from sixth grade, but remind me if I'm wrong. What's going on with the men as it pertains to loneliness, I'm not sure is equivalent to an epidemic. But I could be wrong, right? Because it still is an issue that I wholeheartedly believe exists. But for a person to place themselves above reproach, which is essentially what she's
Mhm.
doing, right? She's demonizing the idea of male loneliness, but at the same time saying that male loneliness is not her problem and justifying why she is mean to men as a reason as to why men have a problem with her and she's lonely. Like it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. But somebody else jump in there because she goes into a myriad of different directions and it's confusing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be specific about male loneliness and identify it and magnify it and focus on it, that's cool. But we are really missing the nail on the head when we are looking at a human loneliness problem in reference to the necessary um like I'll tell you what guys is very good at. Tell me what you need, right? Tell me what you want. I'll do that. I've seen guys like exemplify and exist in that space for a very long time. But what's hard for me to really digest and process is you making it up in your mind already that it's a negative experience in reference to a masculine experience, and that to me is just kind of what it sounds like and feels like. But I'll let her. I started back like a minute, and then I'll let it play so we can get a deeper context and really just listen to like any type of like positive generalization in reference to masculine energy. Is there such thing? Oh, let me cut it off mute.
in the world. And I think that's a dynamic that is really difficult for a lot of men because men were not raised to be interesting. Like you just had to show up and have money, and that was like enough, or show up and be tall, or like be from the right family, and that's just not the case anymore. The other part of it is, I think the propaganda that those men that you're talking about are being fed is that women like me are the reason that they are not happy, which is not true in totality, unless I'm mean to you, of course. I know I just threw a lot at you.
No, I can download that. I don't know if that's what the average man thinks whatsoever. Um, and I think it was an oversimplification of men's existence, right? And I think that happens a lot because we polarize things. Nothing is ever simple. Everything is always complex.
Has nuance.
But we never want to think about the complexities, right? This was men's mistake when it comes to women, right? We didn't think about the complexities. We didn't think about her period and menstrual cycles, right? And not having access to pads or days off, right? Things of that nature. We just thought about our experience and what we want from them, or what we don't want from them, right? And me as a black man in America, I don't think we've still gotten a generation of black men who have autonomy. Say what you want to do what you want to do, right? Move how you want to move. I was talking to a young lady who works at a prominent black media space. And she was explaining, she said, Keys, I'll be trying to advocate for you to get you an award, to get you honored in certain spaces, but they don't think you're safe enough. And I'm like, why not though? Now, she was telling me that, of course, now they're even more afraid because of Donald Trump. They don't even want to use the word black or diversity, right? So they're trying to figure out, what can we do while continuing to get in white ad dollars, right? So they're gatekeeping, right? So that to me, it's not surprising. I already knew that. She was only confirming something that I knew. But it's like, as a man, there are limitations to what society will accept from you. You understand me? Especially the version of man that you want to be, right? I think the version of man that men ultimately want to be and how we show up, I think this generation minimizes themselves consistently, right? As a black man specifically, we've never gotten to the point where the black man is completely free. We're killed for our expression. You know what I mean? We're killed still for being black as we walk down the street, regardless of sexual orientation, class, level, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's one of those things to where when we hear how other people express their ideas upon us, it makes us feel as y'all don't understand the complexity of what we deal with consistently, right?
So I think he pretty much nailed it in reference to what she was saying, because like I think like one of the most difficult things for me that I've been really trying to wrap my head around. I don't know. Sometimes it gets to me. Sometimes it's fine, but sometimes it's like, yo, this is crazy. How people don't really be like the assumption that I'll figure it out. It's like
Mhm.
that shit is crazy to me, and it's like I, it's been so long, bro, that I've been like just wanting to have like a situation that'll happen where it be like, oh, this could happen if we just organize this and put this in play, and you know what I'm saying, you'll be in this situation or whatever, and I'd be like, oh yeah, that'll be a great if that would happen. But it's like I will figure it out without that. But it's like I don't know. Recently, a lot of things have been coming up to where it's like I have to fix this somehow, some way. Like just not to the point where I have to just figure everything out because like I gotta live 40 more years, and I know like the brain ain't even wired to even do that. The heart ain't even wired to do that. Like it has to be a system for which you exist upon that allows you to navigate through this matrix. That system isn't you wrecking your brain every day. So I was just like, I'm just saying all of that to say like nobody is like it's just dad. That simple. Dad's my son's birthday tomorrow. He's like, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like he don't care about nothing that I'm going through or any type of situation that I'm faced with. He just trying to figure out what I'm about to buy him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you getting that. I feel like as a man, I get that 360 degrees.
Yeah, I think after hearing what you said and hearing his response to her, or at least partial of it, I think that the first thing that comes to my mind is credit, and I think that as men, has to come to a point where we stop looking for credit, and that's a tough pill to swallow when you wear so many hats for so many different people. And the reality is that even if you did receive said credit for whatever it is that you're doing, um, it's not going to fulfill you anyway. So, operating from a standpoint of knowing that your acknowledgments, especially from the opposite sex, are going to be minimal, your recognition is going to be minimal, your credit is going to be minimal to non existent. If you are operating from that premise, I think it thwarts the idea of you getting hurt when you don't receive it. So the reality is, at least for so many of us, that real men aren't liked anyway, because real men have to operate from a place of structure and discipline. And the reality is that most people don't like to be disciplined. That's just the reality. And if you're going to rest and exemplify and embody your divine masculine presence, it has to start from there, because you will get the credit when you fuck up. You will get acknowledged when you fuck up. You will get recognized when you don't do what you're supposed to do. And that is enough of a deterrent for me to not even bother with that whole side of things. Right. So, um, yeah, it's falling in love with your soul, because your soul is the only thing that's going to provide that for you, that which you would seek for from others, being recognition, acknowledgement, or credit.
With the soul, right? I mean, for us to love people, aren't we projecting our, our animus onto the person, be able to feel some type of way and love for them? Well, that's me asking the question to find out.
Hmm.
Mhm. To a certain degree, yeah, it's all projection because it's not in reference to any specifics. Like another man's trash is another man's treasure. It's like you would never fully understand the dynamics of love and relationships. But that's the funny when I'm sitting here listening to this shit. I'm like hearing just people just talk, and like it's other people like living real life and having real experiences and not listening to this. But it's like if you had the opportunity to have a platform where thousands of people would listen, why not provide solutions? Like
Hmm.
that part to me
Hmm. It's not
is
solution based.
is crazy. Why am I just going
That's
to
how
just
you do.
gossip? Like I try to be solution based. Like, what's the point of it all? Like why can we get to somewhere? But versus just like just niggas just talking. Like I get it, but this platform too big, and there's too many people that listen to y'all for y'all to just be talking.
Be spewing shit.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
That's where everything is at right there. Because that is a clear cut sign to me that people are playing in your face. Right? Let's talk about the problem, but not do anything in the realm of fixing said problem, moving the needle to the next phase of said problem. Like, let's just talk, because I got followers, you got followers. Let's just talk.
But
Yeah.
but male loneliness epidemic. What's the solution towards male loneliness epidemic? That's all I want to hear. If I'm lonely and I'm a
Hmm.
man,
Two
I
women
don't.
per nigga.
Hmm.
What you say?
2 women per nigga.
What?
That just definitely depends. I'll just say that.
I wanted to say pause, but I didn't know what I was pausing for.
Could be definitely double trouble. So you gotta be careful.
Fucking sword fight. What the fuck? Y'all niggas is crazy.
And while at the same time we're lobbying for empathy towards everybody else, whether you're gay, whether you're a woman, or whatever it is, we're like, I don't think you're taking the same time to give agency of thought to what we go through, right? So then it becomes this battle of, if you don't care about me, why should I care about you, right? And then this becomes divisive because we're talking at rather to each other. And then we talk to the women we like, or we talk to the men we like, but what about the average man? He has feelings, ideas, he grew up a certain way. He probably is still trying to figure out whether he's a tough man, a real man, a high level man, a high value man. You don't know. There's all of these expectations that society is saying that a man is not living up to. But what about the ones that he is living up to? Because our parents still went with the average man, right? He didn't have to have all of these great things. He might have been a plumber, right? And he had a nice business, and he can take care of the average woman who was doing average things as well. And so for individuals such as yourself who are more anomalies, right? You exist in a certain bracket, a certain class, you travel a certain way. So you really don't speak for the average woman, but the average woman wants you to speak for her. They want to aspire to have those same wants, desires, privileges, right? But they don't, right? The average woman, black woman specifically, is in debt. You know what I mean? With even more debt than the average black man, right? Between the years of 1976 and 2011, there was an incline in black men going to college. It fell off during the Obama administration. Why? Because net income didn't rise because you got out of college with a degree but no opportunities, right? So you increased in debt and it decreased your belief, and it started to create this nihilistic thinking about your world. Like, I'm living and existing in somebody else's world, and even when I do what they tell me to do, I still don't get the privilege. And then upon that, you have all of these shifts happening between white supremacy and George Floyd and Mike Brown, and now the world acts like they care about black men when we get killed, but there's still really never been any change for men, black men specifically, right? And then that became more of a societal-wide idea of men. So that disconnection actually made them easier to psyop. So now somebody say, okay, well, you're not being taken care of over there, and you keep voting this way, or you keep going this way. How about you come with me? You understand me? Because we got the same enemy. So now you're going to see political, ideological shifts. People speaking towards the issues that men go through, right? While another side is saying, ignore your issues, fight for these. But these people are going through a cognitive decline. Black men, suicide rate consistently increases. We're not a suicidal type of people. Depression rates consistently increase. Anxiety.
Man, them niggas,
She really didn't have much to say. I guess
she was in silent mode.
Yeah, he ate on that.
because it's like, what the fuck is you talking about, man? Like, you
One
get what I'm
thing that
saying?
he
Like,
said
what
that
what
stuck
is
with me.
whatever her name was, Joy? Like, what is your life like?
Joy Taylor.
Like,
That's Jason Taylor's sister, bro.
what?
From the Dolphins.
Oh, okay. But it's like, what is your life like? You know what I mean? Because you come on here
Bro,
speaking
she
for
grew
yourself.
up.
You know what I mean? And you
She
take
grew up
people.
under. She grew up. Yeah, she grew up under a Hall of Fame fucking football player, bro, who had every girl he wanted in the world. So she got to see from a bird's eye view of how this thing looks, but from an exalted place, right? Like she comes from wealth. So just like he said, when she speaks, she's not speaking for the average woman, even though the average woman might necessarily want her to. Like she can't speak to the male loneliness plight, right? So the idea that she has an opinion about it is really it's
It's
laughable
laughable,
just
right?
because she can't speak from that fucking perspective. She's never experienced any sort of loneliness whatsoever. So
I mean, let's track this out. Let's just simply just track this out. Hey, bro, I want to get a job. All right, let me talk to my boys up at FS1, see if we can get you a job. Well, she started off in radio in Miami. How'd she get the radio
Mm-hmm.
job? I mean, if
A brother.
all I'm saying is this particular level of nepotism playing out don't give her the relatability needed to address the general masses and the reality of this paradigm of influencers speaking in reference to the general masses as if it's a problem when the general masses have lived and existed throughout all time. Like, I don't know where people have this idea of like, all right, if you're not rich, then your life don't matter. You know what I'm saying? And then speak for you. Or not even speak for you, but more or less, you're not rich, so shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. Speak at you type shit.
Your problem is that you're not rich, as if being rich is something that you can just wave a magic wand and now you flooded with.
Or in her case, as if being rich is something that you actually worked for.
Or in anybody case where y'all niggas is still working. If I'm if I'm rich, why do I gotta be on a fucking musty ass podcast talking shit?
Facts. Facts. Why do I need YouTube?
You think goddamn
Facts.
just name your average rich motherfuckers talking on a fucking podcast?
You do not see Jeff Bezos on the podcast, nigga.
I mean, it's not saying. I mean, you could be okay with being normal or average because the average is just a bunch of numbers added up, and what is the
Mm-hmm.
median for those numbers?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Meaning, like, I think the issue is like motherfuckers is really imagining like they outside of God's law, and then they can dictate
Mm-hmm.
outside of God's law in a particular space where you just have to separate yourself from the yoke and then be better than everybody else because you don't need these people. And motherfuckers is OD with this ideology because what we are literally seeing in real time in every conversation is I don't specifically need a man, really. Joy is basically saying, I don't need a man to do this or to do that. Just love me. Don't protect me. Don't do nothing that I just do what I want you to do.
But
So,
also, oh yeah, I can love myself though.
Right. But not the way that you can love me. And it's like, all right,
Tell you what, she just give you directions to get into the slaughterhouse. Take you straight to the slaughterhouse. And then you wanna, you know what I mean, get a therapist and go to church and be like, what's wrong with me? Why? Because you listening to somebody that don't even have the same perspective as you. You know what I mean? You listening to somebody that's unrelatable that you want to relate with. You know what I
And
mean? Like that's literally just like a nigga from the suburbs setting the fentanyl because he heard an NBA YoungBoy song, and now you salty that you dealing with the repercussions of selling fentanyl. You gotta understand, all this stuff on these screens is for entertainment. You know what I mean? Unless it's some real coursework, some real initiates for the flame shit where we actually giving you solutions, giving you tools to find your own solutions. It's all entertainment. I don't care how serious it look. You know what I mean? This ain't no different to me than real world, flavor of love, for the love of Ray J. All this stuff is in the same bag, and we shouldn't take none of this stuff too seriously. We shouldn't watch these videos and have a change of heart about something other than maybe we might have things fucked up because we letting this stuff influence us so deeply.
that's it right there. That's the part right there. It's a matter of celebrity worship, idol worship, and people playing in our faces. And at the end of the day, it's just like um, when Big Bro introduced trauma informing, being trauma informed. You know, if you're watching these fucking celebrities on these podcasts and on these shows, and you're taking their insight and applying it to your life, like I can't express how insane that is. But if you are, you're gonna find out really soon just how detrimental that shit is gonna end up being, because you can't relate to these people any more than they could relate to you. They
But
see
it's
you as numbers on a screen, and while you're trying to take their insight or whatever it is they're doing and apply it to your everyday existence, like they see you as a number on a screen and a paycheck at the end of the week.
but that's how it worked though. How it really work is you look so good or you act the way in a like you have a particular aesthetic, and that's what is the thing. And regardless to what you say, and regardless what to your message, whether it's positive or negative, people gonna fall in love with what they see or whatever is said. Like the way, well, it used to be a certain level where you could detect, like, oh, she a bird brain or whatever the case may be. Oh, he just look good. He don't got no substance. But now I'm saying like where we at with this shit, the external is the only thing that matters.
Hmm.
So in reference to any type of ideology, it's just fantasy. If you don't make $70,000, that ain't enough. If you don't have this or that, that's not enough. Because what's the alternative to the polarity? I'm only locked in and focused in on how I treat you. I'm going to treat you the best that I could possibly treat you. See, nobody is ready to have that conversation, man or woman. We trying to figure out what we can get out of this relationship and whether you good enough for me. And it's like, dog, when you wiped your hand, your finger went through the paper towel a little bit, and you fucking wiped your hand. You got doodle on your fingers. And you talking about I need a man that make $100, 100K. It's like, come on, wash your hands. You got boo boo in your fingernail. I'm just
You're gonna need
saying.
something to go up under that nail.
You're gonna need like a little Q-tip or something to like get make sure, because we are human. And why do we
Yo,
think that the gloss and the glitz and the glamour and the accolades turn us into an alien or a spiritual being? You know what I'm saying? Like,
hmm
and it was just like, to me, just those two videos working together. Well, this video in tandem. I know it's getting late. I know niggas gotta get to what they gotta get to. I just wanted to play this video and then see
Go
if
for it. Go
we
for it.
get a little reaction to it.
Let's say y'all both make 500K a year. He's making 70K. He got a business plan. He got a vision. He's working towards that day in and day out. And you would have to look up at him on all the intangible. Does he get a chance?
No. I would rather be single. This is the thing.
Wow.
Let me tell
Damn.
you why. I have gotten to a certain point because I've built to a certain point. I am disciplined in everything. I'm disciplined in relationship with God, in my emotions, in my mentality, in my energy, in my body, and how I eat. I am very disciplined. And so I would expect that a man is the same thing. Because when you're disciplined, whatever you do the most is what compounds in your life. Why would I not give a shot to a person that makes $70,000 a year? I could put you on. Hell, I could even hire you. Come on, let's work together. We could do all of that. But as far as my man, because this is the thing, I refuse to give into a life where I start to feel like I can't have it all.
That's
I don't
where the
believe that.
insatiableness and the gluttony, because if you already have it all, why do you
Exactly.
need a man to give you more? Like, that's the part of the conversation that I just cannot fully understand.
And maybe
It's not love that they want.
Maybe
It's not.
Let me finish. Hold on, let me
Why
finish.
does
Let me
money
finish.
have to be null and void
Is
of
it-
love?
I think it's because
you
y'all
got
keep
money.
going to
You
money.
are- yeah,
Like,
you already got money.
y'all don't really chime on like the other intangibles as
But that's
much.
not my- I
It's
don't-
mostly about
because
the
for
money.
me, it's not other tangibles. It's whole. It's all of it. If you're missing one, you can't rank one
It's
on
not
the scale
missing,
of 1 to 10. In my lifestyle, in people that I know, I don't really know any people that make $70,000
Well, I
a
know.
year.
What about a high school teacher who loves the kids in his community, who's not on that money
Mike,
shit? He
that's
wants
not
to
what
serve.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that I am around on a daily basis, the people that I call on my phone. It's different. So I will say my vantage point for what success looks like monetarily speaking is exponentially different than most people. I understand that. And I'm not here to wrong.
Exponentially different is crazy. Exponentially is like to the third power. So like,
Yo,
hold on, hold on,
that's all
hold
crack.
on,
What happened?
hold on. What's say for instance, I make 50,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the let's just be modest to the second power, guys. That's what we're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
50,000 to the second power is 20. I don't even know this number. Breeze, what number is this?
Nigga stupid. 250 million, my nigga.
What's this number? 2 billion.
Oh shit.
2 billion and 500 million. So she knows people that make two. She knows billionaires basically.
So they fucking but not wifing, huh? Mm.
I mean, I only got one question. Why and then why are you single?
Why you in a potty?
That's what I'm
Pot.
saying. Getting clapped but not getting wife.
Because when you say exponentially, like, then why are you down here talking with the peasants? Because this is peasant level compared to $2 billion.
What if it's three? What if it's to the third power?
It's giving B Simone but with money.
I
B
just think
Simone,
like
but
when
it's
people
crazy.
say words, when people say words and they reference certain aspects and ideologies, I think like, once again, people with money, so therefore we're not all created equal under God, and we all won't transition out the body, and we all won't experience an afterlife, and we all won't have to understand the modalities of transitioning outside the body because we rich, because we can take the money with us too. We can take all of it with us into the other life, and therefore we don't need to even have real conversations towards nothing besides if you don't have the money you just ain't shit. I think these are very normal conversations, but at a certain point, like, is motherfuckers getting it that's just empty?
No, because you're gonna have her fans and people that are followers of this kind of content and especially this platform who are going to side with her. And then you're gonna have the women who want to justify their actions also side with her, even though they are exponentially far away from what it is that she might possibly have versus what they have. Um, yeah, I just think that I think that that echo chamber is almost silenced, and her shit is getting old. Like she's been talking about this stuff for a while now, and to no avail. You still single, and it's kind of weird that you're giving out all of this advice about what to and what not to do, and you're still single.
It's like when the dude in brown shirt who you got paused on right now, he was just giving game right there when he was like, so if the dude was a teacher, he loved his community, he loved his students, he going hard as hell, he's serving. And she instantly was just like, no. It's just like I kind of thought that was crazy. Like I know so many people that want a man that's like in this community. That it's like he on some mayor level type shit, but he not a mayor. But he's so well connected with everybody. People want to be next to that guy because that's a job. That's like you know, I can get you a discount on this guy who does lawn service, or I know some people who could fix your roof for a good price. Oh, I got
Yeah.
the people at this community. Like, it's just go ahead, though.
No, I mean it's like I don't think motherfuckers care in the way that we were raised to think that people care. I think when it comes down to the things that people really care about is more of a hormonal disposition, to whereas like you're not going to nice guy your way through nothing at this point. Like my son, right, he going to camp and he's telling me about this girl that was mean to him, but he got something and she was asking him for it. He was like, "What should I do?" I said, "Don't give her shit." You know, she was already mean to you. Like, what's the point of, you know what I'm saying? Like, but he think that him being nice is going to unmean the situation or make it better. And I mean, it's natural to think like that, but in reality, people are the way that they are. And I said, don't be a person that don't share, but make sure that you find a good person that's gonna really fuck with you, and then open up. But don't just be open up to people out here. They that ain't the way to go. You know what I'm saying? But like this dude, oh, like niggas really feel, grown ass men really feel like they a good guy and they deserve the thing. And women is sitting here telling you, nigga, 70K is not enough. And I promise you, you going into that shit, maybe you thinking you got the right one, but I fear for you in that situation because the way that she looking at you, like you not doing enough, you not enough because she don't need you. Because what she not working with you, she not loving you, she not treating you right. She just looking at you like you not enough, and you like, well, I take care of the community. She don't care that you do do that. She didn't ask for a nigga that take care of the community. But I think it's men's fault that they not really listening to what women want and not doing that thing that women want, because that's how you get women. Now, if you don't want women, then do you. You know what I'm saying? Do your own shit. But she not. It's a lot of guys out here that's gonna be in her face, and I don't know, like peacocks. They fucking show they feathers and shit. Birds be dancing and singing. Like, this is what men do, bro. I'm like, niggas don't understand. But your bitch better like be in love with you because you a fucking sexy motherfucker. You feel me? Like, your masculine energy is just like you just in tune with that shit. Like you like strong and crazy. And you might fuck a nigga up, you know what I'm saying? Like she likes shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you be like, I take care of the community, but she going to a nigga that's like, you know what I'm saying, boxing, you know, hitting a heavy bag or some shit like that. Just a beast, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's what she like. That's what she like, you know what I'm saying? And
I
you
was
like, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think one of the solutions for men is to cultivate your masculine energy with your anima in your heart. You get what I'm saying? And because I think stuff like this, like conversations like that, I think for me, those kind of conversations just brush off of, you know what I mean? Because for one, I know it doesn't entirely pertain to me. And if, a woman is saying that what I make salary wise isn't enough, I think it's funny. You know what I mean? I think it's hilarious. Um, and I mean, I could keep on, you know, going. You know what I mean? I don't need um someone to love me who doesn't have any love for me. You know, if you don't have no love for me, I'm not about to be singing in the rain trying to get that love. You know what I mean? Because I done got love from I've got love. You know what I mean? I know where I can get love. You get you get what I'm saying? So I don't really, it's nothing that a woman that's talking about a dollar amount has that I'm lacking. You know,
Facts.
point blank, period. You know what I mean? Like you don't have nothing that I'm lacking. So I just look at it. You really just playing yourself, to be honest. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe you into that kind of thing. Because I think some people are mental masochists. You know what I mean? They like to be
Mm-hmm.
in shitty situations. You know what I mean? They like to be, you know, had a mind fucked with shit like that. You know, but it's just, man, it's just like a fucking circus. You
Yeah,
know, all the people mixing
a
is the
lot
white
of
face and the
women's,
red noses.
a lot of women's sex drive is tied to masochism anyway. Hence the reason why they go for the bad guy, or the street guy over the 9 to 5 guy. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But yeah, first of all, first thing I wanted to say was deserving of pussy is wild to me. Like when motherfuckers operate from a space of I deserve this pussy, like that is wild to me. That tells me that it's gonna be a long time before you get it, bro. Because if you enter into the whole connection, relationship, dating market under the guise of deservedness, nigga.
Yeah.
You right. You right. You right. You gonna get exactly what the fuck you deserve. Somebody that's gonna manipulate your ass, and you ain't gonna see it coming. You ain't gonna be able to see it coming because you thinking about what you deserve.
And you gonna end up telling the younger generation, "Don't do what I did."
Yeah, that shit is wild.
Or shame the person that makes 70,000, because the truth is every single person deserves love. But like Tasia said, that's not going to happen with me, because I live in a space where I want to follow the leadership of my man. I want my man to make the decisions inside of my household. It's not about a dollar amount. It's not, oh,
It
okay.
is though.
No,
Because
it's
he
not.
can lead in other ways.
No,
And with finances,
you've
even
got
if
to
you make
lead the
more.
household. You can look. Money
You
doesn't
can
buy you
lose all this
buy
shit
you buy you
tomorrow.
happiness, but it
And I'm
buys you
70 years
options.
old.
Exactly.
This is the question. The question I want to ask in fairness.
These people just got
Wait,
money.
hold
Like,
on.
they don't even
Is
like
there?
the people who think they got money don't even have no bread.
Let me
bro.
ask you the
They don't
question.
even have no bread.
I disagree with you because I know the people.
They beating them
But
Doonies down, bro.
Why don't none of the people want to be with
Because
you?
they beating Doonies down.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's why
But you
she
single
knows.
though.
That's why she up. She getting Doonies beat.
But you single though. That's my thing. Like you can't make it seem like you own some type of standard that you're single when the type of lifestyle you're living is contrary to being in a relationship. You know what I mean? The lifestyle and how you're speaking is literally not holding space to be in a relationship, but then you're trying to make it seem like I'm single because no one's on my standard. No, you really can't get nobody. You really,
Yeah, you
yeah.
passed that 30. You passed that 30 wall, right?
But even
You
even if you
probably done
pass the
talk.
30 wall, I mean, it's still 50-year-olds out here dating. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's that
yeah.
mindset where it's like you think it's cool, or you earn a badge of honor because you got such a high standard, whereas your high standard got you on the bench watching everybody else be happy while you saying, "Oh, I could never be happy with a man like that." He, you know,
Getting paid to be a
yeah.
commentator.
And I know of couples from all different ages where there's some women that make more money than they husband, and they good. I don't think that really fucking matters. If it matters for you, go for what you want, but to try to act like you on some type of pedestal because it's just, oh my goodness, man. It's just this shit not for the average person.
It sounds like she's arguing for what she deserves, doesn't it?
Yeah, but nobody really this
Because what everybody was getting annoyed about is that like they're talking about all these amazing great things, and she was talking about, well, yeah, I need my nigga to make some bread, but but then the person goes, well, it's about money. She's like, no, it's not. And it's like everyone's mind blown. Was like, well, we just gave you 7 different niggas that's doing great things with our bread.
I'm confused. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm confused.
It's like I want to be with her, but she do this and that. But like, she cool as fuck though. But like, I gotta go. But I still want to be with her though. You know what I'm saying though? Like,
you just wanted a word vomit. She just wanted a word vomit.
Yeah, like she could tell you 15 different ways of why she can't be with you, but she could never tell you why she can't be with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, she could give you 15 reasons, my nigga, but she ain't gonna say it straight to your face. Type shit.
And I think like if the fantasy is like meeting a good guy, I think that's cool. But I'm always me personally, I want the fantasy to be like, when I find Kyrie, I'm gonna just love the fuck out of him so much. That's all I ever wanted to do is just like cater to him and to please him. I don't give a fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what you want to do, that's the type of girl I want to be with. I don't care about nothing else. What the fuck? But like, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. How you going to treat me? I didn't even really think about how I was going to treat you. I was just more or less figuring you was going to be rich.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't think that far. Like I only thought up to the part of receiving, right? I didn't get to the point of reciprocation. Like that didn't register yet. You know what I'm saying? But when it does, I let you know type shit, and it's like, so you just want a nigga to show up and be already done, and the only thing he's missing is you.
Shit crazy.
Like that is diabolical.
That sounds
bro.
like some leftover hot pocket pussy. Like
leftover hot pockets.
It's flat out unrealistic, man. It's just unrealistic, and I just hope that young ladies ain't listening to this like, yeah, he should make over 150,000.
Nah, that's real. That's real though. I think it's so real in reference to they're gonna ask you what career you work at, and they're gonna Google how much that career get paid. I mean, in general, regular thing. Like, I don't think like the way that social media have programmed people is not to like really understand how to treat people, and two, what to look for in a person for a sustainable relationship. I think these conversations is very basic and very much the general consensus. This is how people feel and this is how people think.
Yeah, because I always thought like, what happens if he checks all the boxes, but he's a serial murderer?
Hey, I'm not gonna say.
You know what I'm saying? Like he checked all the boxes, but he got some bodies in the basement
All
type
right,
shit. You know
this
what I'm
Tyler
saying?
Perry
Like,
shit gonna come true for her. Gonna be a rich ass nigga doing crack.
Yeah,
Rich ass nigga doing crack.
yeah. But she gonna be like,
yeah,
he got
like
the money
what
though.
if he's a cross dresser in private,
Hey,
right?
by her
Like,
logic.
what if you come home one day and the nigga wearing your
Hey.
heels? Like,
Or what if you come home one day and it's 30 bottles of baby oil on the kitchen counter? He got the money.
you know what I'm
I guess
saying?
I do it.
And the nigga talking about I want some nut on my
Oh,
nipples.
no.
Like,
You know, I'm already loading it up.
No.
At that point, she said if Diddy he would want me to put semen on his body. She specified that those times the mogul would ask her to put the escort semen on his chest and his nipples. Cause you was fucking with a rich nigga. Now you putting nut on a nigga's chest and nipples.
She's been waiting to make a move.
And knowing
Can you
damn
tell me if you
well
like it?
she'd rather do that than to be with a nigga that make $80,000.
And you did goddamn right. She did that shit with glee. She was putting
Yes.
nut on
Yes.
chest and nipples, nigga. She knew the different techniques.
She wanted them that get flew out to Dubai to get shitted on. She likes that. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing until I saw it was a thing. Fly me out to Dubai, daddy. What?
Had a camel take a dump on her.
Yo, talk about you gonna have to double it up for that. You ain't say it was gonna be an animal.
It's like you want to go to
Yo,
Bora
is
Bora,
that-
right?
It is. Big
Hey, it's
homie.
getting late,
Hood, is
man.
that the equivalent to selling your soul?
What?
If you fly to Dubai for a nigga to shit on you?
I mean, no shit. It's not. It's like
It's a job.
yeah. It's always comparable to standing on your fucking feet at McDonald's and motherfuckers will be like, oh yeah, my daughter got a job at fucking McDonald's, fucking slave. Fine with that, you know what I'm saying? Like, but shit. Most motherfuckers ain't never going to Dubai in their life
At all.
ever.
Most niggas can't spell Dubai.
Yeah, and you
I
take
can't DIBUI.
you take a shower and nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of
that's a
freaky
fact.
shit. You sitting next to a nigga on the bus. You don't know what that motherfucker just did before they got on that motherfucker. Talk about how you doing? I'm fine, motherfucker. How you doing, motherfucker? What you doing before you got on this?
Finger deep in some ass.
Real shit. Yeah.
Old fist
That-
in some
that-
ass. You giving the motherfucker a handshake. You don't know.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
You don't know. You don't know what the fuck people be doing. So I'm just saying, like, I'm not judging one way or the other because it's all like hell. It's all duality. It's all night and day. So it's like shit. And then a lot of that shit, I just think like it could happen. I mean, I'm sure it do happen, but it's like I know motherfucking girls that's making money hand over fist, just doing the straight up and down monkey sex. You know what I'm saying? Making dudes come in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's a whole hour, baby. Like, damn, 5. I only last. Yeah, I'm sorry, you gotta go now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going down, but you know what I'm saying? Like, people just like exaggerate sex to so much. Like, I don't even get into that shit, but you know, but that's the thing though. These bitches want a rich nigga, and then now they getting boo-booed on, and it's like you asked for it, sis, because I was working at the factory. I was just gonna eat it.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
I was just gonna eat it up.
Like that's
I
it.
wasn't do no
That's
strange
it.
weird shit. I don't got no toys. I just got this tornado tongue. That's all I got. That's all I'm
Right.
Yeah,
getting.
that's it. That's it.
Right.
I ain't got no weird vices to go with
Yeah,
this
I only
shit.
make 70K. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I cannot afford an escort. I
I
can't.
don't got
I
enough.
can't. I could be one, but I can't afford one.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what you get. The more money you get, the more freakier that bedroom gonna get. So, ladies, it's a give and take. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because the best D probably came from a brokey.
Yeah, man.
Just the facts. I remember being broke, living in my mama's crib. That was my most fertile time. These girls was coming when I was broke as hell. Ain't that crazy?
It's crazy as hell. It is. Cause that shit is that shit happens.
It
That shit
was
annoying on the low.
it was kind of irritating a little bit. I want to go back to that time, but I don't.
You said I kind of want to go back to that time, but I
Yeah, I
don't.
don't. I'll just take it how it's coming. Fuck it, 'cause
Good thing lucid dream is a thing.
imagine.
A wise man told me to live through my dreams.
Yeah, yeah. Dream journal. That'll really elucidate that fact.
Nah, but for real though, it definitely is interesting. Like living in this world, being a regular person. I'm telling you, I mean, it don't apply, but I feel it though. It makes sense to me. I understand it, and it's weird, you know. Like it's real weird the way that people look at men and what they expect out of men, and if they don't get it to a certain level, what you get on the flip side.
Mhm.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, we laugh about it and shit, but just think about just a regular guy that's just like that just don't got no charisma, don't know, they're just kind of normal for real.
Hmm.
Like I'm an animal out here. Like I'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think I know it's people that's way more advanced than me, but I also know it's people that wouldn't just be as adventurous as I am too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Hmm. Hmm.
it's rough out here, man. Cause it ain't no community. It was just a post that I seen that said like 47% of black families is not having family reunions.
Mm.
That's
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying?
That's a crazy number that somebody actually decided to
Yeah.
document. I'll
When
say
was the
that.
last time you been to a family reunion?
Oh, I never went.
Just a while ago.
We had them, but I never
Okay, now
went.
you're hearing trauma. We ain't.
Black family reunions have dropped 47% since 1997, with the main reasons being the loss of elders and lingering unresolved family conflicts.
That sounds
That's
accurate.
that's the male and female loneliness epidemic. We don't have familial support in the rest of the world that's functional, that's thriving. They do so through family support. And this goes back to this feminist agenda ideology where you don't need no man. Like we need each other in reference to the cohesive family. Like I don't like that shit, bro.
Yeah, I don't particularly care for the fact that it was so easy for motherfuckers to just be like, yeah, I'm good by myself.
Man.
6/21, 1995.
Somebody look that up on the astrology. I'm gonna go grab my cards. Try to do a reading or two before we get up out of here for the people. Let's give. You feel me? Trailblazer, if you got a question or a comment or a concern, you can put that in the chat. We're doing many readings, man. Make sure you click the links in the descriptions. I meant to while we here, we might as well talk about it. Go to flameonshop.com. While we getting this reading together, I have my boy elucidate what happened. What had happened was looking at his boy. Let me see what we got. Um Book online services. Let me share the screen. Get this reading together. Yeah, they squabbling. Got the reading, my boy. Serpent, you did a reading recently?
Today, one of my supervisors, they found our channel and they saw me podcasting and they started asking a bunch of questions and then she asked for a read.
That simple, right? Flame on
That's simple.
flameonshop.com, man. Oh, I forgot, man. I gotta say this more than once. Join the Discord. QR code link is in the description because you might forget these links and things like, oh, I wanted to book a reading, but I can't find a link. Join the Discord. You can be like, hey, what's y'all reading link? But what she think about the reading?
She said it was the most accurate depiction of her life she's ever heard. And she feels closer to herself and she feels more in tune with her purpose. And she was just very, very grateful, bro. Like very grateful. Extremely grateful.
Then that Nelly came on. I am getting so hot. I want to take my clothes off. She was that grateful, Serpent. Was she that grateful? Like that.
I wouldn't know. We were at work. I wouldn't know.
What you mean? That's where it goes.
We were at
That's
work.
where
I
it
didn't
goes
know.
down the most, man.
Okay, all you need is a work wife.
I just don't play. I just don't play the
Oh
work
yeah,
game.
that's
But,
real.
yeah.
You better than me. But anyways, that boy's solid as a rock. Like nigga, I'm going down in a burst of flames. Like I'm taking that risk. I'm taking a risk. I got the
Yo, this
six of
nigga.
cups with the ten of wands and with the Aeon. So I don't know where you at. Maybe you single or like you either gotta you something going on with the lady side, with the feminine side, where I would probably more or less say either meeting somebody or really going into the next phase of your relationship is really what's going to happen this Friday. So this Friday, if you got an event, something that's happening, make sure you get dressed, make sure you go out, make sure you go have some dinner, get your motherfucking hair cut, boy. She either gonna be looking for you or she gonna be looking at you. But either way, make sure you like ready, right? Because you about to enter into this phase where you might have the money, you might have the whatever, the job, the life, or whatever, but you need that divine feminine, and it's on its way, my boy. That's what I got. Y'all pull anything?
Shay, I was actually looking at the transits with his chart because I saw he had a Venus in the 10th house, and right now he's having an opposition with that. So that made me really want to like get into that relationship aspect with like going on with tensions and stuff. But I see that as a good sign, really. Venus opposed the moon, because that's I see that as like a lover's quarrel. So it's like really that time for you to really just step into your confidence. Like Hood said, go out, get nice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, while you getting ready, you might laugh at me, but get some rose on spray mist for your face. You know what I'm saying? Clean your face with that rose. You know what I'm saying? And I promise you, it's gonna be a different step. You know, that's what I always do. You know, my ritual. If I'm trying to go out, I make sure I got some roses on me. You know, be on my magical shit.
Tap in, tap in, tap in. You know what I'm saying? Oppress the oppression. You feel me?
And then as a card that I got is that I got the adjustment. So right now it's like you might feel like, you know, the odds might be against you or the scales might be on a different, you know, tipping point. But you gotta remember it's always gonna balance out and it's always gonna scales always gonna tip in a different favor. So really understand that you just need to be able to adjust. You gotta be able to have a swift step and like, you know, really talk to your spirit though. You got to like to be balanced, you got to find it within yourself to bring that balance. It doesn't come from something outside of yourself, not a particular thing or person, just simply you and spirit.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, man. Serpent, Jabri, y'all got anything?
Oh yeah, the cards like it. So, a performer who seeks privacy, a deep feeler with the public purpose, a grounded voice in a mystical realm, a warrior heart with a teacher's tongue. This is someone born to communicate transformation, to lead others out of confusion and into clarity. Their journey won't be easy, but if embraced, they'll leave behind a legacy of healing, insight, and empowerment. Mm. Lastly, the North Node and the South grow a path is in Aries in the ninth house of philosophy and higher learning and travel. This lifetime asks this person to boldly pursue truth, even if it means walking alone. They are learning to trust their own convictions and blaze their own philosophical and spiritual path. Whether they become a teacher, explorer, or a preacher or philosopher, their truth is their sword.
I'm pulling up 12/9/87 751 right now, so just want to let that be known.
And I got the Hermit for the card. Um, Seeker of truth, solitary sage who withdraws from the world not to escape but to illuminate it from within, carrying only a lantern and a staff. The hermit climbs the mountain to excuse me, that climbs the mountain of self to retrieve wisdom meant to not just for themselves but for others who are ready.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. So for this card, which was crazy, um, I got I was with my Thoth Tarot deck, and I don't my deck separate, but somehow a Voodoo Tarot card was in my Thoth Tarot deck, and the card that I picked, well, the card that came up was the Prince of Air, or the what would that be? The Prince of Swords, and then I got the Devil, and then I got the Princess of Swords. So it's a vision of somebody that's fighting for something that they don't necessarily need to fight for, because the things that you have don't need to be fought for. Like, so basically, it's like this hard thing that a person is going through, but it's like fake hard, meaning like you choosing hard. You don't have to choose hard. You can choose easy, or choose not to deal, or choose to let it go, and just move on, because it's something better and greater on the horizon. So it's the illusion of choice, and this like difficult thing, but it's like it's not difficult. It's easy because you're just living and walking and existing in your path. And as long as you're doing that, it can never be wrong or hard or tension. So I would say take a deep breath, relax, and just let it all go, because your path is to, be explored and observed, and just enjoy life, living it and loving it all. But yeah, that's what I got.
Is this Shantae we're doing right now?
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm. This chart is that of a mystic warrior healer, cloaked in physical depth, driven by sacred work, and fated to walk between worlds. They are the oracle in the underworld, the healer in the fog, the builder in new truths. But this soul's greatest alchemy will come not from power, but from self possession.
Ashe. So right now I'm tapping in. I'm tapping into her chart, and I'm looking at this sun. What is that? Yeah, the sun trine moon, and that is a waning gibbous moon before a full moon. So really tapping into that, it's like you got to realize how much you're really supposed to be a guide and a person helping guide others, right? You have to really work on you mastering yourself and the knowledge that you're supposed to give people by understanding that you've been here before, the understanding that you didn't know things, but once you start to reclaim your knowledge and teach yourself, you start teaching others. But it doesn't start from you going out and acting like you're this person, or you're perfectionist. It's you just doing the work and showing up, and the people are going to come to you because of the cultivation of the work you've been doing. Like people gonna ask you like, "Yo, I've been dealing with this. I need your help." Or, "Hey, can you really work with this with me?" And you're gonna be like, "Damn!" Like some of these people gonna be people you went to school with. Some of these people gonna be people that's like just been in your life around you that just finally noticed you, and that's only because of the energetic work that you have to do, not you posting online.
What is the deal with all of these Sages? It's a fellow Sag. Shout out to y'all.
That's my daughter's birthday. Well, I think yeah.
When is her birthday? Oh, shit.
All right, so for Elite King Ramsey, I'm sorry if I butchered that. So I have pulled two cards for you. I got the Emperor and the Seven of Disc. So this is telling me right now, like you really been, doing the work and really understanding the things that you want to try and go after, the things that you really been like in the water fishing for, right? It just pertains to this card in per se. But it's like with the Seven of Disc, you ran across some bumps, some failures, and it's like you're not totally defeated, but at the same time, it's like you kind of in a place where it's just like, I want to do this, but I just don't know because this didn't work out. But what if I told you you have to fail 10 more times to be where you need to be? Like if I told you success is right around the door, if you fail 10 more times, would you keep trying? So let that be the know is like don't give up in what you're doing, but learn from what you're going wrong into because that's where real leaders gain wisdom and experience.
Elite is a shadow philosopher. mystic architect, tantric reformer, spiritual heavyweight, here to uncover buried truth, transcend familial legacies, and deliver truth through fire and love. This soul incarnated with the keys to transmutation, relationship healing, and sacred restructuring. But the journey must begin not out there, but in the mirror of the self. The truth must find the anchor in the heart, not just dance in the head.
I got the art or alchemy card that rules this. This energy that rules this card is Sagittarius. So definitely talking about the full moon. Prince of this, I would say this represents you. The Empress, I would represent. I feel like this is you. I mean, your baby mom or your significant other. I would say more or less. I don't know. Something in references is like child's mother more than significant other, and really coming to like an agreement, a compromise, like trying to figure some shit out between y'all two so y'all can like do the alchemy, like balance this shit out. Cause, I feel like the things that you got moving forward, you got to deal with the energy that's holding you back so you can move forward and stop ignoring that shit. So I don't necessarily, I don't feel like it's no paperwork, more or less. I think it's more of like an agreement to where like you just show up, you take care of what you need to take care of, and that's all you can take care of. But that's you putting in your recipe and y'all cooking together, and she got to stir, you know. But you can't micromanage. You just got to trust what she's stirring, and the alchemy that y'all come together with is going to be a beautiful meal.
I pulled uh, that goes perfect with the card that I pulled. I pulled the star card. So, star represents Aquarius energy, healing, vision, rebirth, after trauma, spiritual alignment. It's the card of soulful emergence after destruction. So, message from the star is your trauma is not your identity. Your vision is not too far fetched. You are being called to pour from your divine will into this world exactly as you are. The occult reflection is the star appears when you are ready to transmute pain into purpose and radiate your light into the collective.
All right. There you have it,
Ashe.
man.
Ashe.
That's a show. I got any closing words before we get up out of here?
Set your intentions for the new moon. Set those intentions, set those intentions, set those intentions, and join the Discord. Join the
Make
Discord.
sure y'all get y'all microdose capsules for the white rabbit. I'm gonna always say it. I'm gonna say it again. Microdosing changed my life. Believe it if you want. Believe it if you don't. But I know what it did for me, so it might do something for you.
Yeah, every time you get paid, you should go to the White Rabbit first. I'm dead ass serious. Like every time you get paid, you should go there first.
Peace to the tribe, man. Doing what we do. See y'all on the flip side.
Peace, family.
Peace.